What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach. Johnny is unfortunately down for the count with a migraine, but I thought it would be appropriate in light of recent events. If you guys haven't heard, you're living under a rock or something like that. NBA legend Kobe Bryant passed away this past Sunday. He's 41 years old. His 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, was also aboard the helicopter that went down and took their lives, as well as seven other passengers, seven other people, including the pilot of the craft. 9 people in total killed. I was really devastated on Sunday. You know, the Lakers were always my favorite team growing up. And a big part of that was Kobe Bryant. I always looked up to Kobe. He was always sort of this larger-than-life figure, you know, something to strive towards, greatness, and, we hadn't seen anybody like that in the league since Michael Jordan. Fortunately, they overlapped. There are times when Michael was ending his career and Kobe sort of started his. They sort of overlapped a little bit, and we got to see, two of the greatest basketball players of all time play at the same time on the court. So that was pretty special for me, and I always, I tell my kids all the time, nobody gets better at something overnight. You work at it and you practice it and you hone your skill, and that's exactly what Kobe Bryant did. I've been glued to all the media outlets and people talking about Kobe and his legacy and his Mamba mentality, and it's been eye-opening for me. I always knew that Kobe had this mentality about him, but it sort of puts it all into perspective, when you see how someone so much larger than life, such as Kobe Bryant, could die. It could be my turn at any point. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to change my ways to approach life with the Mamba mentality, and I think that there's a lot that we can learn from that mentality, and I that's directly attributed to Kobe. And so he's left his mark on this planet. He's in recent years has really devoted a lot of his time to philanthropic efforts, teaching youth about the game of basketball and coaching them up, and his daughter was no exception. She was 13, like I said. She would say often that she was going to go to UConn, and she had these big dreams of being in the WNBA. And from everything that I've heard, it looked like she was well on her way to do that. She had her father's focus and determination, and I think that's it's unfortunate that never got to come to fruition. It's also unfortunate, obviously, that Kobe and Gianna leave behind a family. Vanessa and 3 other girls. They lost a husband and a father and a sister, and a daughter. So it's very hard. So Sunday I was very distraught and just sort of contemplative about my own mortality in my own life, and in the days since I've I've sort of started to shake it a little bit, but every once in a while I'll, trip across a post about them, and about something that Kobe was working on, or something that he had done, or plans that he had, and it sort of just brings me right back, and so it's been pretty difficult for me to sort of I don't know, to put it all into perspective, but I feel like I'm on the other side of it. But I thought that this week, instead of me just talking on and on in a very monotone voice, I would pay homage to Kobe in the way that I can. I don't have a basketball court. I can't do an 8-second backcourt violation or a 24-second shot clock violation. I can't do any of that stuff. What I can do is make not only make a commitment to myself to be better in all areas of life, personal and professional, but also as far as this podcast goes, I felt like this week we would sort of do something we haven't done before, and that's shove a couple episodes up next to each other. Kobe famously wore number 8 and number 24 on his jersey for the Los Angeles Lakers. And so as a sign of, respect, paying respect and homage to him, I thought it would be something that we could do to play episode 8 and episode 24 back to back. Obviously, there will be no monetization on this episode. I don't want you guys to go to any sponsor links this week. You don't even have to give us a rating this week. I just wanted to use this as a way to, like I said, pay my respects. It's a great loss for not just us as fans. It's a great loss for the population in general. It's a keystone figure who you could look to as a sign of inspiration, as a sign of aspiration, something to work towards. And I feel like we can still use him as that. Unfortunately, there just won't be a next chapter for Kobe. So our respects are hopefully being paid here. Condolences go out to his family, his 3 daughters, and his wife, and everybody else who's been personally touched. I've seen a lot of interviews, other basketball players and people that were close to him, and the one thing they all mentioned was his drive and his determination. So I feel like it's important for us to reaffirm that we are driving to move this podcast forward. That's what, if Kobe Bryant was a podcaster, what would he do? And he would absolutely push himself to be the best podcaster he can. And I feel like that's something that I need to do. I can't speak for Johnny. I hope Johnny's along on the ride with me. But I sort of have a fire under my butt to make sure that every week on Wednesday, like is announced, like has been known, that we release something for you guys. Whether that's just me talking for 45 minutes, or it's an old episode, or if it's something like this week where we do something a little bit different. I want to say the content of these episodes might be a little crass, and it was not, believe me, if I wanted to pick episodes that I thought were classy, I wouldn't pick these ones. These are picked solely because of the number associated with the episode. Episode 8 is called No Mo Kimono. It's about when I went to a surprise burlesque show, and events transpired. And episode 24 is called Funky Cole Magina. Joe didn't know that the title to the episode was Funky Cold Medina. Unfortunately, Johnny won't be in these episodes unless there's a fact-checking segment in episode 24. Episode 8 was a little bit too early for that, I believe. I could be wrong. So you might not hear Johnny's voice this week, but we'll be back next week for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. My name is Zach.
My name is Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
How's it going, man?
It's going.
We've been sort of dicking around for the past 45. It hasn't even been any issues.
No.
Like, usually there's like an issue we're trying to overcome or something, but no, not this week.
We just like kept wanting to talk about things.
Yeah.
But then we're like, no, let's save it. And then.
So, to be honest, Joe and I have said maybe 5 words to each other ever since I got here 2 hours ago.
Well, yeah, because we're about to say something and you're like, oh, yeah? Like, go on. Like, no, I'm going to save it.
Putting our guards up. We got to have material to talk about. Me and Joe were just talking in the 5 words that we did say. Too much material.
Can't talk.
No time is pretty much it.
I was going to write something down, and when I said, no, I'm going to save it, I wrote, I'm going to save it. And I didn't write down what I was going to write down to talk about.
No, you want to talk about your savings account.
Maybe I'm going to save it.
I'm going to save it. All your change that you found.
I do have a lot of change.
Do you?
Yeah.
You got that Obama change? I miss Obama so much.
I do. Oh my gosh. I haven't heard from him. Good for him though.
I saw in the news he was taking a picture of Michelle on a yacht. He was like on what's his name? The Bruce Springsteen. He was on like Bruce Springsteen's yacht.
What?
He was like with Bruce Springsteen on a yacht.
You know, this whole time, the last 8 years he was president. He was just like, man, I can't wait to get out of here so I can get on Bruce Springsteen's yacht.
Do you think he shared many conversations with Bruce Springsteen? Like,
he might have played at the White House.
Do you think he had like a text thread going with him? It was like, hey man, T-minus 6 years till I'm on that yacht, dude. Save me a spot, wait. Bro.
Still got my ticket. He was at recently. He was on a yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that news article within the past few days, something like that. Yeah, It was pretty interesting.
Good for him, but
good for him.
Goodness, I miss him.
Gosh, I think he deserves it, but at the same time, it's like.
Do you think he's back to smoking cigarettes now?
He better be. If he's not, I'm upset at him. I mean, that Obamacare will cover him, right?
What is that? What is that thing that Michelle did? The Get Fit? No.
She was all about the fitness. I don't know.
What was the program? Gosh, I'm terrible now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it's Get Fit. It's not Fitbit.
I just remember like during the whole Vine craze.
Yeah.
You know, that song Turned Down for What got really popular during Vine, when Vine was big. And then she did like a Vine from the White House. And it was like, turn up for what? She had like a turn it.
Yeah.
Like, turn it for what?
They were like the first social media. He was like the first social media president. And now it's just gone to the extreme. He's on Twitter at 2 in the morning.
Bush had a MySpace page, and he shared all of his.
He does have a website right now. Well, of course he's got a website, but like he does artwork and sells it.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Like
is he a good artist?
It looks like an Andy Warhol. Is that the guy that did the like the Campbell's soup?
Oh, okay.
Paintings?
I don't know, but okay.
Photos. They're like bright backgrounds.
Okay.
I think, if I'm remembering right, but he does portraits of people.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's all in macaroni.
Yeah. It's finger paints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we're back. Welcome back, everybody.
We are back. How many times are you going to say welcome back?
Hopefully that's the only time. Hopefully the only time.
Hey, thanks for Thanks for joining us this week, guys.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
gals.
Thanks, everybody. You're always welcome. Pull up a chair. Get in, snuggle up cozy by the fireplace, even though it's almost summer. Oh,
Unless
man.
you're in... Don't we have someone out of the country that's listened to our podcast?
We have several people. We've had some listeners in Australia and Ireland, and I saw somebody today in Belgium.
I think maybe a couple of those places might be cold.
Well,
Except they're not. They're
Southern
probably
Hemisphere.
not that far. They're probably not that far north. Well,
Australia is
but I was
heading
thinking
into
of,
their winter. So
I was thinking of the European ones. You said
European. Well, anybody above the equator is having summer.
Anyone below is having it too.
At some point during the year, or it's getting warmer.
Yeah.
In the northern hemisphere.
Everybody has those seasons.
You know what I've always thought is weird? In
Yeah.
Australia, they celebrate
The changing of the seasons.
No, they everybody
The equinoxes.
I mean,
They turn
so
their
weird.
They turn their clocks back or forward.
to every season.
Turns.
Yep.
Turns.
Are you
Or maybe it's just turn.
Are you saying turd?
Turn.
Oh.
Turn. Is it turns or
Turn. I thought without the S.
Well, if I had just said turns, I could have just been describing the next few words that were coming. Turns. I was just lazily saying turn. So I said
turns. Turns. Yeah. that works. No, but what I thought was weird is they celebrate like Christmas in the summertime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like Florida too. Well, it's in the summer. We're just so used to it
It's in
being...
the summer. Yeah. There's no snow.
Yeah.
You know, nowhere in Australia, like...
Nowhere? Are there any mountains? Oh, you mean like during the summer, it's definitely not... They're definitely not having a white Christmas anywhere?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, which is sort of strange to me.
That is strange.
But I also heard in Australia listeners, please correct me if I'm wrong, there's a rendition of Santa Claus with kangaroo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like white kangaroo.
Oh, like it's not Santa, it's
sleigh.
a kangaroo.
No. There's Santa
And
Claus.
he's got all of the...
and he's in the pouch.
all the presents are in the pouch. And the kangaroo
Yeah.
dishes them out
Yeah,
from...
it's not Santa Claus. He is Santa Claus, but he's a kangaroo.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Yeah.
Different cultures.
Yeah.
It probably just generated a long time ago with Aboriginals. They came up with it, and I think that's where Santa originated, and then came back to Europe, and they changed it to a fat, large guy with a beard.
Yeah. The they used to just worship the sun gods, and then
Santa kangaroo.
Santa kangaroo happened. So that's 100% factually correct. You don't need to correct me at all, Australia listeners.
Yep.
So.
I was just on the Wikipedia page, found all of that.
I definitely did not change that, like, right before we started recording.
Yeah.
Didn't do it. We're still sitting at four reviews. Blake Bergman, got a bone to pick.
Yeah, you're in the hot seat, bruh.
Where is our goddamn review? You were asked specifically for a review. It's not there.
You know what?
You know who else is on the hot seat? Your sister. You know why?
She pulled her review.
No, she never fixed that second period in her review that we talked about.
Hey, you know what? I edited our Facebook page.
Did you?
Yep. I kicked you off all of it. No. There was an S missing in conscious.
Oh, was there?
Semi-consciousness, right? Did you put that?
Well, we might want to look at our podcast.
I think it's C-O-N, and there was supposed to be an S there.
Oh, and it didn't. It just said C?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's what it was. But there was a letter missing, and I didn't notice it because I wasn't reading that.
Yeah.
But I went to edit the page to put in our start date, and Grammarly, as it does, swept the page for errors.
That doesn't happen too often, but that's sort of
it happens. But I had to call you out on it, and that is not your A game.
It's not my A game.
That's B squad material.
No, man, that's like D. That's like D squad, man. That's like you're the Harlem Globetrotters and I'm the Washington Generals, and you
is
just
that who they played against?
Yeah, you just A squatted all over me, man.
Yeah.
You know, they always beat the Washington Generals by like 50 points.
Have you ever seen them?
The Generals?
No, the
Globetrotters.
The Globetrotters.
I feel like I saw them once.
My grandma Bonnie took me to go see them in Evansville.
I feel like I saw them once, but I was pretty young, so I don't really recall it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whistle, and they're all warming up.
Sweet Georgia Brown, yeah.
Is that what that is?
I don't know if we can whistle that song. If we do alternating tones, is that considered?
Well, I feel like I try to whistle that song, and then halfway through it mixes with some other kind of jingle, and I can't get to the end.
It's like the Campbell's Soup commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what it was.
You know, I was, it's a shame we can't sing any of these, but I was thinking about old sitcoms, theme songs.
Yeah.
There's so many good ones in the 90s.
Oh,
That was like it was like the 80s and the 90s had like
Full House?
Full House. Yep, and everybody knows
Whatever happened?
that's Full House, and then there's Family Matters. Then there was Step by Step. Then there was Growing. There was Growing Pains. There's Boy Meets World, which is sort of like a.
And if we're counting the 80s Wonder Years, where
Cheers.
they did Joe Cocker did the rendition of With a Little Help from My Friends.
Yeah, and Cheers.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Cheers. Clink, clink. No, Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you want to go.
Where everybody knows your name.
That's a good one.
Yeah, man. And I was just sort of reminiscing, but you know which one takes the cake?
What kind of cake?
Cheesecake.
Awesome.
Which is garbage on it.
My mom made me cheesecake this last week when I was home. Where's my
piece, man?
I didn't bring you one, and Grandma wanted me to punch you. So remind me after this.
Well, all right. I see how it is, Grandma. You're never going to hear this, so. I always sort of had an inkling that I wasn't the favorite anymore, so.
Anymore?
It happens. Oh. Did she tell you at some point that?
She told me that you never were. And then she gave me $100.
Grandma Joan, man.
So now I owe her $100.
She is ruthless. Grandma Joan is ruthless.
She's a shark.
She does not care, man. Her give a shit filter is just
none.
Zero. But I was saying.
What were you saying? I don't even know.
The theme song that takes the cake on all of them.
Oh, what kind of cake?
Shut up, man.
Chocolate? No, because I want a cheesecake. Go ahead. Scratching your beard? In anger? In impatience? Like, Joe, shut up. Let me say what takes the cake. The cheesecake.
The theme song from Coach. Do you remember that one?
Oh, man. It was set in Indiana, wasn't it?
I think so.
It's like a Indiana basketball.
It was a march. It was like a.
Oh, it was like the Michigan fight song or something like that?
It was like a fight song. I don't know if it was the Michigan one.
You know, and I tried to start it in my head, but it was the theme song from the cartoon Recess on Saturday morning. Yeah,
that's not the one.
No, it's not that for sure.
It's not the one.
Da, 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 da.
No, it goes, there's going to be a period of silence for like 5 seconds, guys.
While you're trying to think of what it was?
No, when I sing this, we're going to have to end up taking this out.
You think so?
Yeah. Maybe. Da-da-da-da-na-na-na-na.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's definitely not a fight song. I don't think, well, I mean, it's like a fight song, but I don't think you have to take that out.
You don't think so?
No, we should consult a lawyer about that.
You know anybody?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, cool, man. I was going to check out the SoundCloud page. By the way.
Oh, yeah, this morning.
This morning. I want to apologize to everybody. And by the way, this morning is
Wednesday.
April 19th.
Yeah.
Because we record these
today.
about a week in advance. Well,
it's tax day.
Yeah,
was that yesterday?
Tax day was yesterday. I know because I postmarked my Missouri money I had to pay yesterday. So, and shout out to my my accountant who got me all squared because they said it was going to take 8 to 10 weeks for my return.
Yeah.
To come in.
You got it already?
Yeah, came in right before my Vegas trip, man. So I'm going to ball out of control. Speaking of that, I'm going to Vegas this coming week. So if I don't come back, Joe, you're on your own, man.
Jumbled.
Find somebody to fill my spot, man. It's not that hard.
True.
I'm not talented.
You're not that good. I was thinking, what if you're actually doing this podcast yourself, and this is a Fight Club scenario where you are the Edward Norton character, And I am the Brad Pitt. And spoiler alert, Brad Pitt is a figment of his imagination, or really a alternate ego. Oh. What if you just come down here into the basement where he used to hang out and beat him up, but he's really beating up himself? You're just podcasting with yourself.
I want to say that I'm a pretty sane person.
I just remembered what it was.
The thing that you were going to write down and remember?
Multiverse.
Multiverse. I wrote that down as
well. You wrote that down?
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's good. We're both prepared.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and talk about that. Joe, do you think there's a possibility of multiverse?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I do.
It's outside of my not my realm of understanding, but my realm of acceptance. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean, it's like it's all a theory.
Sure.
I mean, the theory of multiverse.
Sure.
It's not the fact like we know.
Yeah.
Basically, just numerous versions. It's like
it's an unlimited amount of different
us is
universes.
living out our
yeah. So basically, there's a universe out there where I'm talking to a Joe that has brown eyes instead of blue eyes, and that's the only thing that's changed in the entire universe. That is the theory. It could be something as little as that. That could be the difference, which is sort of crazy to think about.
I don't know, and that kind of gets into like a predestination kind of thing. Because if we're doing the same thing essentially, but I don't know if it's basically just a copy, but like an error in the copy. If like my eyes are brown instead of vibrantly sky blue.
Yeah, Someone
says stunning.
I like to think.
Good, man. I was worried that you just sit around and you don't, but it appears you do. It appears that
you don't know how to speak correctly.
It appears that you do think from time to time.
From time to time, yes, I do. No, I like to believe that somewhere
out
there.
I'm so proud of you,
man. I'm proud of me too. I like to believe that there's another universe out there where Joe Rogan's in our shoes and we're in Joe Rogan's shoes. Where we just have this kick-ass podcast.
Yeah.
And we're making that happen.
So he would probably fall out of mine and his wouldn't be big enough for me. So we're size 12, 13, depending on the shoe. So if I was in his shoes, it'd be kind of a tight fit. Do I get to cut the ends off?
Do I get to wear
Castaway style?
Do I get to wear his shirt because his biceps, I'm pretty sure, are like twice the size of mine.
I don't know. I think it's just
maybe 3 times.
It could be. Yeah,
he's a big guy.
He does work out. He does all that UFC stuff. So
Brian Callen likes to call him a shaved gorilla. Is what he looks like, which is funny.
Yeah, I can picture that.
Yeah,
I'm picturing a gorilla
who's shaved.
Who's shaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that? Like
what a shaved gorilla would look like, or what I would look like as a gorilla?
Both. No, do you ever think about
sometimes I just stand out in the yard, knuckles down, just kind of slouched over.
Just grunting at your neighbors?
Yeah, and throwing poop.
Into the street.
Yeah.
There's our poop neighbors. Reference. Hey, man, we did it.
We made it.
We did it. I think we've mentioned poop in each one. Well, maybe not the first. Because the first one we spent about 2/3 of the time talking about quarter-inch adapters. Have you gone back and listened to the first episode?
Who's we? You talked about all the quarter-inch adapters, or did I?
We both.
I've never listened to any of these.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't listen to the podcast?
Not at all.
Huh.
I'm not even subscribed.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I wrote a review.
You don't give a shit about this podcast, do you, man?
I'm fully subscribed.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good.
And I do listen to it.
Good.
I listen to them kind of multiple times.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Sometimes multiple times.
I listen to them a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because I'm...
Like it's your alarm in the morning?
Yeah. Yeah. That's custom MP3.
Sometimes you just go to like minute 25 to 20,
Yeah.
Minute 25, 46, and just that's your alarm.
Yeah.
Those 46 seconds.
I usually don't go back and listen to the previous week. Like, after we record tonight and we end it and we put it up on Slack, I'll just listen to it on Slack for an entire week.
Yeah.
And then once it hits, I know exactly what to put in the description for the podcast and all that stuff. By the way, I hope everybody enjoyed our name for today's podcast. Episode 7, Episode 8. That was Joe's.
Did you actually do that?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so terrible. Well, I was proctoring the ACT, so
he hasn't
really
even listened.
I really haven't even been on podcasting today. That's terrible. I didn't look at it. It's Wednesday.
All right. Episode 7, episode 8.
I had an interview today, too. I had a lot on my mind.
He did have a lot going on. Joe interviewed today to be in the Russian circus. How'd that go, Joe?
Well, I was, there I was, standing next to the bear, standing on a ball, juggling hula hoops. Yeah. And I sneezed, and it messed the bear up. He got really angry, and he bit one of the interviewers. Damn. But he just kind of did it quickly, and it felt bad, and he was crying in the corner. So I spent most of the afternoon just consoling the bear. Did you prove
yourself by smacking the bear on the nose as he bit onto the person? You smacked him, and then
I rubbed his nose in it.
Yeah, and then you proved your dominance over the bear.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I'm proud of you.
And then we sang that Jungle Book song.
Proud of you, man.
Made him feel better.
I'm proud of you. Hey, Joe.
It did go well.
That's good. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you.
We won't say what you actually interviewed for, but yeah, I'm glad that it went well.
It's actually on Trump's cabinet, so we'll see.
Are you the new Sean Spicer?
I am.
Please tell me.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Dear God.
He's now the old Spicer. I'm the new Spicer.
Deodorant.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man.
I had to stop. Speaking of Old Spice, I love how we just get onto these tangents. I stopped using it.
Did it burn?
It did. It gave me a chemical burn on my armpit. It happened a couple times, but it was.
Now, that was just the last straw you threw in the towel. You're like, I'm done
fuck
Old
it,
Spice. I don't care about your whistles and your crazy commercials.
I don't recall what I'm using now, but got it at Costco, and it was like a 9-pack of deodorants.
I was
last me for a whole
picturing
year.
a deodorant the size of a clipboard.
Yeah,
it's just gonna last for a while, and you're just like,
I have to rub my arm on the deodorant.
It sits on the counter. Yeah.
I gotta rub my arm across the deodorant.
You don't know the name of it. It's in a 6-pack.
Yeah, I don't recall.
You can't get anything in a 1-pack at Costco.
No.
If it is, it's a 30-gallon 1-pack.
No. Yeah, I mean,
we went there, and you got to go there to get. You got to have your mind on something.
Yeah.
Like one time, Nikki just out of the blue bought replacement heads for our our Sonicare.
Yeah.
Brushes.
Yeah.
And she
had a whole section for that.
She had to buy like 12.
Yeah, it's gonna last you a while.
Yeah. I never changed mine, so she's got 11 left.
You're using just the nub of the Sonicare now.
2 bristles on it.
Yeah.
Does enough. Gets between the teeth and just rubs the top.
You're brushing your teeth like Ren did in Ren and Stimpy. Do you remember that episode?
I don't.
There was an episode. There was an episode where
toothpaste. I think.
Yeah.
Remember it right.
There was an episode where Ren and Stimpy, or Ren wasn't taking care of his teeth well enough. And
they always do those zoom ins, and it's very
really
artful, and it's very detailed when they zoom in on it.
He had
like a scream.
He had I think he had like a worm or like a maggot or something in his mouth.
Probably a hair poking out somewhere.
Yeah, but eventually, I remember one part of the show, he had all of his teeth pulled out. Like he went to the dentist, and the dentist yanked all of his teeth out. Yeah. So he just had these little indentions where there used to be teeth and little roots coming out.
Dude, that show was so funny. Was that one of the original episodes? Or
yeah.
My dad loved that show and loved watching it, but my mom hated it and would not. She would get so angry when I'd watch it. She wouldn't let me watch it by myself, but if Dad was there watching it, we could watch it together.
There are 2 people or 2 characters in that show that I really liked.
The horse?
The horse? No, sir, I don't like it. He'd sit for a second and scratch his chin with his hoof. Like and then, no, sir, I don't like it. Either that or Powdered Toast Man.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Powdered Toast Man. He just had a piece of toast for a head.
Yeah.
He's like a gray skin suit that he just flew around in.
That was so weird.
If you recall, Powdered Toast Man flew backwards. Do you remember that?
I do. What a silly show. Oh my gosh.
So silly.
It got canceled and it got picked up on FX, so that shows you the kind of show that it is and was.
It was Spike, I believe.
Oh yeah, Spike. Is Spike still around?
I think so. I don't have cable, so I haven't had cable for years. But the new episodes only got to 3 episodes, and there were 3 that were unaired.
Yeah.
I think they released them, but
need to go back and watch
it never reached its full potential. I guess enough people didn't watch on Spike because they were sort of rebranding it as an adult cartoon.
Yeah.
They should have went to Cartoon Network and been like,
for sure.
Look, put us on Adult Swim.
At like 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
People will watch us.
100%.
Kids will watch us because they're up on their phones.
Yeah.
Or they're playing Xbox and this is in the background because they've got 3 TVs and the other one's got their computer on it.
Yep. Exactly. So I loved Ren and Stimpy.
That was good, man.
I remember when I was younger, I had
plush toy?
a little plush toy, and it was Stimpy.
Yeah,
and if you pressed on his stomach, he made a little fart noise with his mouth, and his tongue shot like air up into his tongue, and it would shoot out.
Man, toys just aren't what they used to be.
No, they're not. They're not, man. Now you can't. Now you can't get a toy that doesn't make a sound anymore. I feel like an old person talking about this. Like,
remember those clear guns that we used to have, or like lasers? They had little orange tips on them. You could see through it, and they always have the same. Every once in a while, I'll hear that. Like they've still used that. It's like pew pew pew.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Yep.
You're welcome for that noise, by the way.
Yep. They've never changed those sounds. At some point, somebody said, "Here's the set of sounds that we should put in this gun, and let's never change it again."
Program it in everything. In fact, let's just make speakers and little computers, make millions of them, and we'll just continue to use them forever.
Forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Oh, man. Randy Travis. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Yep, it's a good one.
It is a good one, man. So I left off last week with a little teaser for everybody.
Yes.
In that I went to a surprise burlesque show. And I don't know if I said this last part, but there was a stripping T-Rex.
You didn't tell me that.
I didn't tell you that.
Was it one of those big costumes?
Yeah, it was.
Those are hilarious.
It was so funny. So, anyway, let me set the story up for everybody.
So it was surprise. Like you didn't know?
I had no clue that it was going to be a burlesque show. I was helping my wife out with an event for a nonprofit she works with. And so we were going to this, what I didn't know until I got there, a burlesque show, but it was these people shared the same sort of sentiments that this nonprofit my wife is working with sort of endorses. So we went there. We walk in the door, and there's this lady walking around in a kimono. And right off the bat, when you see somebody in a kimono, you're like...
That's weird. Kimono?
Pretty sure we're not in Japan, are we? Are we in Japan? Are you a geisha?
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody seriously wearing a kimono.
It's like either like
in a movie.
It's like either an old stoner from California or it's a geisha. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
There's never anybody else that wears a kimono.
No. Can't think of anything else.
Or like at like a very stereotypical massage parlor. You see people walking around in a kimono there.
That's true. I think I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the only places typically that you see. So when you see a kimono in public, you're like, holy shit, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like immediately. Mm-hmm. That was my first thought. I was like, what? This doesn't feel right. Something's off here.
Are we going to see the king and I?
Is this like a recreation of Mulan? What's getting ready to happen here?
Was Donny Osmond there? He might have been.
I can't say yes or no. He might have been.
Huh.
Although I will say that he made a man out of me, and I'm thankful. Thanks, Donnie.
He said someday he would.
He was doubtful. He said, "How could I make a man out of you?" That's what he asked me. He said point blank. He looked at me. He said, "How could I make a man out of you?" Mm-hmm. And you know what? I proved him wrong.
Yeah.
I climbed up to the top of that big old pole that was really misplaced. Yeah. Shouldn't have been there.
Even though you never went to gym class.
No. And I said goodbye to those who knew me.
You had trouble catching your breath. I mean, you were going to do it.
Yeah. So.
Were you scared to death?
I was really hoping that he wouldn't see right through me, you know.
That's usually the worry.
So anyway.
What were we talking about? Folks, that's the episode.
That's it, guys. No, there was the kimono.
Episode 8. Episode 12.
We're just going to start mind fucking all of our listeners. Nobody's going to know what episode.
How is it season 7, episode 100? What did I miss? Are they not all loading?
No, it's like season 7, episode... No, we'll go like season 8, episode 7. So it's like...
0.7.
What? Yeah, nobody's going to know what's going on. So anyway, we walk in. I see this lady in a kimono. I'm freaking out. I don't know what's going on. She greets my wife. You know, they exchange like niceties or whatever.
Pleasantries.
Yeah.
Hi, hello.
Yes.
Nice weather we're having.
Yes. And
wonderful kimono.
There's no other dancers at this point that I've seen. I was like, I don't know what's really going on. There was nobody.
The 3 of you?
Nobody had arrived yet. I mean, there was like a sound guy, and there was like there were 2
sound
artists.
guy like DJ.
He was the guy who was just running the audio. He wasn't
have headphones.
No, I don't think so. He was just using their.
What kind of equipment was he using?
Well, I took a detailed.
Was it a Sanyo TC 502?
Mm-hmm.
B?
No, he had like a really old Dell laptop. I remember, and he was watching the Pentatonics, Bohemian Rhapsody
as he was
on YouTube.
spinning the phonograph.
And he had
With
Hey man, sorry, I brought my trumpet again.
Man, you just get it out and go to town. Your embouchure is it's impressive.
Hey, thanks, man. You know, I've been working on it all alone by myself in the middle of the night. My family hates me. They've told me not to really come back unless I'm
embouchured out.
Yeah. So.
Speaking of, I was playing the saxophone earlier. I played Happy Birthday.
You played Careless Whisper. I was like, holy shit, man.
Which one's that?
I'm never gonna care.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one. I was.
No, you're doing the sax man, or the sax one. Down, 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 down.
Doing some Blues Brothers stuff.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Jumbled. Hey man, we're doing right by our name this time. So they exchanged pleasantries. And then she's like, I'll be with you in a second. She's talking to the sound guy, whatever, talking about songs, I guess. At this point, I didn't know what was going on. And then she walks over to us. I don't know if she did this on purpose or maybe not, but she just like she was holding her kimono and then she walked over and she just let go of the kimono.
No mo kimono.
No mo kimono, man. And so it just sort of like, everything's out there.
That's my favorite character on Dragon Ball Z.
Nomo Kimono?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Nobody really liked him, though, you know?
No, he died in the first episode.
Kamehameha, and then he just sort of caught a big fireball.
Kamehameha? Is that what it is? Or what did you say?
Kamehameha?
I
don't know how they say it. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z.
I watched a little bit here and there.
I'm just sort of bullshitting. Anyway, so she walks over, and her chest is just exposed. It's just there. I mean, she's wearing pasties. Okay. So she's got pasties over the nips.
So it wasn't a full
It wasn't
show.
full frontal.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much was.
Yeah.
And so I was not made aware. My wife said nothing on the way up that would lead me to believe. It would lead me to. She said nothing leading up to the event.
Yeah.
She said nothing while we were going to the event. I was just sort of along for the ride, willing to help my wife out. And then I just had a moment where I was like, really confused. It wasn't even like an arousal situation. It was just like I wasn't expecting this, you know. So I was confused for sure. And then the show got going.
Yeah.
And
how many dancers?
There were 4 dancers.
Okay.
There was one lady who was very overweight.
Yeah.
She was getting into it just for the first time or whatever. It wasn't the first time, I don't think, but she was new to it, to the whole process. So she's still sort of learning the craft, as they say. Then there were.
Are you well practiced in the craft?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I do Chippendales all the time, man. But I go up and I wear like an elephant Speedo. Okay. So it's the trunk.
So it's not like just the bow tie and the cuffs.
It's the trunk.
Okay. Oh, it's the trunk.
It's the trunk. Yeah.
Is it okay?
The Speedo, and then
I thought you were talking about.
You can tell what the trunk is.
I thought you were talking about like you were like wearing a Babar costume. Is that his name?
Yeah.
King Babar?
Yeah, he wore a little crown. Yeah. No, that's what I meant.
Like a sweater? Did he wear a sweater?
That's what I meant. I'm just up there Porky Pigging it, actually. I just wear a shirt and nothing else.
Pooh Bear? That's Pooh Bear.
Porky
for
Pig.
sure.
Porky Pig, too.
Porky Pig?
Yeah.
Porky Pig. Which one? Oh, yeah.
Porky Pig,
At
man.
the end of it, yeah. Yeah. I think he had black pants and a yellow shirt.
Don't think so, man. Google that. Anyway, tell us if we're wrong. But they got into the show. All the dancers were doing their thing. Towards the end of the thing, they're like, here, our next dancer. And awkwardly enough, like, I thought the dude was making fun of this lady's weight. It was the bigger lady who was in the T-Rex costume. He's like, our next performer, watch out, she might try to eat you. That's what he said. I was like, what? That's really insensitive. Why would you say that? And then he's like, no, really. And then she came out in her T-Rex costume. So he was talking about the T-Rex. The T-Rex.
She might eat you. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's like, I couldn't get behind that. But
by the way, Porky Pig is wearing like a blue blazer and a red bow tie that I don't know where it's attached to. So I was wrong.
Yeah, man. That's what.
He has a blue hat in some of these.
Yeah. Yeah, wears a little blue hat.
And he's poking out of a drum. I've never seen that before.
But anyway, the lady came out wearing the big T-Rex costumes. Yeah. Where they're like sort of inflatable.
Like, just silly, yeah.
And the T-Rex had on little pasties. And it was wearing a G-string too, so it was really...
Was it a good-looking T-Rex?
10 out of 10, I would.
Was there food there?
Well, I've made it a point to never trust food either at a burlesque show or at a strip club.
Oh, yeah.
Anywhere there's...
What about pretzels? Well, it wasn't at like that...
Pretzels are dry goods, so I could get behind some dry goods.
Yeah.
But anything that has been sitting in a dish... No, to answer your question...
In a ditch? I wouldn't eat anything that's been sitting in a ditch.
No, you've never been hungry, have you?
Roadkill.
You've never been hungry, have you,
An open bag of Doritos. I have. Many a time. Oh, bless you. I should have gotten in sooner and you wouldn't have sneezed. So you had a good time?
I did. It was good.
And when was that? Yesterday?
No.
Before you came over here?
Directly before. I was Nostradamus last week. I said, I know what's going to happen. It's going to be next Wednesday afternoon.
That's the dude that rang the bell at the top of the cathedral in... Is that Paris? Yeah. Nostradamus?
They call him the Humpback, but that was sort of Quasimodo.
I get those
Quasimodo,
mixed up all the time.
Yeah, Quasimodo was the guy who sort of could tell the future sometimes.
He could tell the future?
Yeah.
Professor Xavier? No, he read minds.
No. We're trying to get back into that same thing where we just...
I missed it. He read minds, which... No, he didn't read minds. He could predict the future, which is that Nicolas Cage movie where you can see the different ways to go. That's all I could think of.
Nicolas Cage, is that the guy from The Matrix?
That is. That's Neo.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves? Those were just not even...
45 minutes later, it doesn't even make sense. So yeah, I had a good time.
Good.
I had a good time.
When was that, though?
That was... sorry, yeah, I forgot all
That's
about
where we were
saying
at.
that.
I can't believe I remembered.
That was not this past Saturday. Would have been the...
Saturdays ago?
Saturday before that.
Saturdays before...
Would have been the 8th. April 8th. So, that was good. And we had to drive all the way out to BFE to go to it. But it was good.
It's a good side of town.
Yeah, Excelsior Springs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More rural, for sure.
Rural.
So, yeah, I had a good time. Have you done anything worth
this
noting?
Been doing some yard work, man.
You piece of garbage. Have you done anything at all?
I have been on a mission to kill all my dandelions.
Yeah?
Either by poison or by me digging them out.
Have you...
I stick a flathead screwdriver down there and I just kill the root and I pull it out.
Yeah.
And I've also sprayed, not the pesticide, but like a...
Roundup?
No, because that just it'll kill whatever it touches.
No, okay.
I do like something that it changes, like
a little pellet.
It's like pH stuff or something that affects dandelions, but not grass, not fescue. Missouri fescue. That's what I've been doing. Had some leaves left on the other side of the sidewalk that I just didn't care about. Been doing that. Seeding, watering.
I just fell asleep, man.
Planted some ornamental grass in my front yard.
Nice, dude.
Couple bucks from Ace Hardware.
Yeah?
Not a sponsor. They only have annuals, which makes me so mad.
Makes you so mad?
Yeah.
You want those perennials, man.
Yeah, man.
Give me the perennial. I don't want to plant flowers every year.
I don't. I sure don't.
I
except like veggies.
I need the perennials, man.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been up to.
Me. Cool, man.
Anything else? No, it is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
The 19th.
I was sick last Thursday. I stayed home sick.
That was the day after we recorded?
Yeah. I was feeling like hot garbage. It must have been. Must have been something.
The Bailey's got you.
I don't know, man. It was something. Because it was weird. Because in the morning I felt fine. And then about noon hit, 1 o'clock, and then something switched. I ate something bad. It must have been.
Did you stay home on Friday as well?
No. I went to work on Friday.
Okay. I was going to say you had those weekend blues is what it is. Oh,
I did feel like garbage the whole weekend, pretty much.
Yeah.
We went. I didn't get my appetite back until Sunday, so I didn't feel like eating anything. Like I forced myself to eat, just because you got to eat.
Who do you think you are?
You won't get far
unless you eat. You got to eat.
Whoever gets that reference, send us a message on Twitter.
Speaking of what I've been doing,
you get another sweater knitted by my grandma. This one's going to be specific to you. Let us know what you want her to knit, and we'll scream at her until she does it.
Yep. I nominate you Screamer. Loudest screamer.
Sure.
The quiet screamer.
Sure.
Scream.
Oh, it's like a good cop, bad cop situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, come on. You come in and you just go to town.
What the hell? Why aren't you knitting?
Speaking of eating, and what I did this last week, I did go to Indiana for Easter.
Yeah, how was that?
And none of the chocolate made it home. My mom refilled my basket with chocolate.
Damn.
I made it home, but the chocolate did not make it home. The Skittles and all the sour stuff for Nikki made it home. But I ate a bunch of some little eggs. Not the Cadbury's. I got to get some of those. Yeah. You know you can get those for like 10 cents now at the grocery store. And those Reese's.
I like the caramel ones. I don't know if we talked about this, but I don't get with the Cadbury cream eggs.
It's basically just like sugary.
Yeah, I don't get with that.
I need some caramel. That's
for sure.
That's the best.
For sure.
Unless they've got some kind of cookies and cream in there or cookie dough. Something. But yeah, so I had plenty of little mini Twix bars. Probably had 8-ish.
Okay.
They're those hard little they're not Cadbury eggs, but they're hard candy covered chocolate eggs.
Candy covered.
Yeah, like an M&M is.
Yeah.
But it's like shaped like a little egg.
Okay.
Kind of looks like a stereotypical egg from Angry Birds.
Okay.
Probably had about 20, 22 of those. Some
standard.
Little mini Hershey's cookies and cream eggs, if I didn't say that.
Yeah, standard.
Yeah. There might have been some. Yeah, there was some other chocolate in there too. There was some bunny kind of stuff.
So not that much then.
No.
You sort of went light on the chocolate. I'm proud of you, man.
I ate a lot of it.
I'm proud of you, dude.
Got my fix.
So Indiana was good then?
It was. It was indeed. Good time.
Nice.
Family. Candy.
Family candy, man.
Yeah. Candy man.
Candy. The candy man can.
Candy man can. Yep.
Well, I'm happy you had a good time, man.
But I wish I had known on the way back that I should have stopped at Starbucks for the unicorn drink.
I've not yet had it, but you know me and my sweet tooth.
You were telling me about it.
I'm very intrigued.
Do you know what's in it?
Apparently it's like really sweet. Not anything coffee related. Like think about like ice cream, like a sherbet.
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 I think you're talking about sherbet.
I'm pretty sure there's not an extra R in that one though.
I think you're talking about sherbet.
I'm talking about
sherbet. It's kind of like ice cream.
No,
but it's like frozen.
I mean, if we want to get technical, we could call it
Sorbet.
sherbet. You want to call it sherbet?
No, sorbet.
Oh, so it's not sorbet? Huh?
Sherbet.
Man. No, so I think it's almost like sherbet with a. You're gonna laugh every time I say it. I'm not saying it to be silly. That's how I say it.
It sounds silly.
All right, man.
Sherbet. I just googled that. It's a Wikipedia page, so.
With an R in it?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, now we're gonna have a battle. We're gonna have a fucking. This is good podcasting.
This is. So it's got sherbet in it. Sherbet. Let's just for the sake of it, let's say sherbet.
Yeah, sherbet, a frozen dessert made with fruit juice added to milk or cream, egg white, or gelatin. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's what's in this Starbucks drink with like some sour dust stuff sprinkled in it.
Magical flavors start off sweet and fruity, transforming to pleasantly sour.
Yeah.
Swirl it to reveal a color-changing spectacle of purple and pink.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dude, I'm getting up early and getting one tomorrow.
Dude, I just might. Because it struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy fruity stuff. I really enjoy sweet stuff. And pretty good with the sour stuff, too. As long as it's not like Warheads. As long as they're not sprinkling it with Warheads. I don't like that. That's not good. Don't do that to me. Why do you hate me, Starbucks?
Yeah. Pop Rocks don't like that.
And you know what? Don't give it to me in a red cup either, Starbucks.
This one's in a clear one.
I know. I'm being pissed off at
Christmas.
Starbucks. Everybody wants to make a big shit show out of everything. So
it gives the ingredients for it.
Yeah.
Opposed to all the other stuff, ice, milk. There's blue drizzle.
Blue drizzle, yeah.
And sour blue powder. Sour blue powder.
Yeah. Probably raspberry or something.
And pink powder. Not sour, just pink powder.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Pink powder. That's the stuff they get from dehydrating that all that the chicken nugget stuff. Right?
Have
you seen that picture? I'm pretty sure it's not true, but
no.
But you've seen that picture though, right?
I haven't, no.
There's it almost looks like an ice cream, but apparently it's supposed to be like chicken nuggets. It doesn't.
Gross.
It's not though.
It's not pink powder. It's not.
It's. I don't think it's
dehydrated Pepto-Bismol.
I don't think it's actually chicken. Somebody could prove me wrong.
Well, I thought chicken. I thought they changed to 100% white meat.
It is,
but still, it still could be kind of processed, right?
Could be. Hard to say.
Maybe they didn't actually change it, and they're just changing what it's called. It's still factually correct that it is white meat.
Yeah.
But it, could have some other stuff from the chicken in there and just all kind of lumped together. And because there are actually 4 shapes of nuggets, maybe 3. One of them's a boot. One of them's, you look it up. You're looking at me skeptically.
Really?
But they have different shapes. Yeah. One of them's might be rib. Maybe one of the,
strange.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I learn something new every day about chicken nuggets.
So, one thing I've never known, they have the Hamburglar, and they don't talk about these guys too much anymore.
No.
But they have the Hamburglar. Was there like a chicken burglar or something like that?
No.
They never talked about that,
They don't.
Because, guess what? Nobody gives a shit about the chicken at McDonald's.
And what about the
salad burglar?
Grimace. What is... you've got
Grimace.
You've got
the
Hamburglar has a head that's a hamburger and he eats hamburgers, which
Yeah.
is kind of weird.
He's a gumdrop. That's what Grimace was. He was a talking gumdrop with arms and legs.
They don't serve gumdrops. So is it an eggplant? They don't serve that either. He's a weird dude.
You know what I heard about their fries? Why they're so good? I heard they blanch them in sugar water.
Really?
Yeah. And then they fry them and they salt them, so you get the sweet salt.
Oh my gosh, I want some fries. Today they had food trucks outside of the high school.
Yeah?
To celebrate the end of testing.
Yeah?
I got a burger, sans the cheese, because I told you, you're trying to stay away from the cheese.
Yeah.
You were going to town on some string cheese earlier, and I was jealous. By the way, Zach strands his string cheese
into
the smallest, finest strips. You don't even. How can you even taste that?
Man, I didn't know.
It looks like
you
like
didn't
a
watch
like
me
a piece
closely.
of yarn. Not
you didn't
yarn,
watch
thread.
me closely. You didn't watch me closely because I was stringing it out, but it was thick. It wasn't like little strands. And then eventually I just sliced it down the middle and ate it was big bites, man. I felt like a big boy.
I don't even consider it string cheese.
I was a big boy.
You finished it. You get down now and play with the rest of the kids.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, so I didn't get the cheeseburger. I got the hamburger and some fries. It was pretty good.
Nice, man.
Pretty good, but I can always eat more and more fries.
Yeah, you can never get enough of those.
Never get enough fries.
Especially the McDonald's ones, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was told
Burger King, yeah.
It used to be Burger King, the king of fries. I loved Burger King's fries. I don't go to Burger King anymore for anything.
No, the Whopper, nah.
I like Wendy's, and I like Wendy's over McDonald's, Frosty. But they're more expensive than McDonald's.
We are in the demographic of fast food. It's like
true.
Men aged 20 to 35.
Yeah, they're hitting it hard with me, man.
Yeah,
and they're winning.
Yeah, I have to. It's hard. It's hard, man. I'd pass several fast food places on the way home.
Yeah.
Wendy's is like the closest, and I always just want to get in there, get a junior bacon cheeseburger and a chocolate Frosty, because vanilla, nah.
I never understood why they. But I guess some people like vanilla, but it's like, why?
I tried it. It's not that good.
Just go get a fucking
ice cream
cone.
Ice cream cone from McDonald's is way better than a vanilla Frosty.
Yeah.
I will bet the house on it.
Yeah. By the way, whoever's running Wendy's Twitter, I don't know if you've seen this.
On point.
Have you seen it?
I've seen some of it.
They're just clowning on people all day.
Yeah.
They talked about Hardee's the other day, and it was like somebody tweeted at Wendy's, "Who's got the better 4 for $4, Hardee's or Wendy's?" And then Hardee's said, "We don't want to brag, but." And then Wendy's said, we prefer the original. And they're like, sometimes the original isn't better. And they're like, tell me the 4th person that walked on the moon. And then apparently they blocked them.
Hardee's
blocked Wendy's
because they got burned.
They said, "Tell us the 4th person to walk on the moon without Googling it."
Because you remember the first.
Exactly. So whoever's running Wendy's Twitter,
Isaac Newton's
the
first one on the moon.
That's it.
It was
Galileo, man.
Idiot.
It was Galileo.
Did you know he only lived like 400? He lived in the 1600s.
Galileo?
It doesn't seem like that long ago.
Galileo or Isaac Newton?
Isaac Nugent?
Ted Nugent?
Yeah, his brother, Isaac. No, Galileo.
Yeah.
Like 1600s.
Yeah. He died 4 years ago.
Yeah. He looked great.
Up until the end, man.
Yeah. Just kind of withered away.
He was hiking every day. Man. He was a real good guy, man. Yeah.
Hardee's and
Wendy's. So they went at each other.
Man, I would get food from other places.
Yeah, I don't. We already talked about Hardee's. I haven't been back since I got the Monster Burger and had the BGs on the side of the DQBP.
I passed by that on the way, but they've got like old ice units in front of that whole
wall. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure those are contaminated too if they're sitting anywhere within 5 yards.
There's
of
like a green ooze, like very bright. All the dandelions are like 4 feet tall.
You open the door and it's just sort of whoa.
There's definitely a warm, radiant heat coming from that area. I didn't get out of my car.
That's a reactor. That's a poop reactor, man.
The Lion's Den is still open, if you want to know.
Oh, cool. Yeah, probably much dirtier at this point.
Yeah, most likely.
Much dirtier.
But
just as skeezy, probably though.
Just as skeezy.
Yeah, man.
Easy peasy.
Lemon skeezy. So, one thing I did want to talk about.
I know what it is. Are we human?
Or are we dancers?
That's it. Ding, 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 ding.
No, I wanted to talk about April the giraffe. Had her baby.
Yeah.
It finally happened. You know what? And I want to say I'm sorry to April.
Yeah, we clowned on you a little bit.
Hold on. Let me just have the mic for a sec, Joe.
Okay.
April, I'm sorry. I really said some bad stuff about you. And I want to take this moment now, here and now, to formally apologize. I said a lot of really hurtful things to you, and from what I was told, it really struck a chord with you. So I just want to say I'm sorry. And the best to you and your baby who's already taller than Tom Cruise. That's what I read online.
Is it?
It is.
How tall is he? Like 5?
He's like 5'10".
No,
5'11".
he's not that tall. He's not that tall. I bet he's like 5'8".
Let's look it up.
Where's lifts? By the way,
Hey, man.
I did watch that.
That waterfall, dude. Why is it so like off and on? Like you might need to have like your plumber come out and look at that.
Well, it's not so much a waterfall as it is an underground river underneath the house.
Gotcha. It's like an aquifer almost.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
An aqua for what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that video was sponsored by Toys R Us.
You're right. 5'7".
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not a man of tall stature. Well, there's nothing wrong with being short.
No,
if
but
you're
he's
over
a little
6
guy.
foot, it's kind of cool, He's
a little guy.
6'3", 6'4".
He jumped up on that chair just so he could see really tall. On Oprah, when he went on Oprah and he jumped up on the chair. He wasn't professing love. I love seeing tall
being
things.
This high up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he
I
said.
think Kate Holmes was taller than him.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with those monster heels. She's always walking around in some pretty big heels.
Have you ever seen Anne Hathaway's impersonation of Kate Holmes?
No, I haven't. Is it really good?
Pretty good.
All right, another thing to YouTube.
Yep, another thing.
I'll watch that for sure, man.
Speaking of Mr. Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
I just saw the beginning of Jerry Maguire. Never seen that whole movie
Really?
front to back. I only watched the first couple minutes when he's
It's
like
pretty
throwing
good.
a glass on the ground or something.
It's
crying.
pretty good. Yeah.
I thought it was, Nikki and I both thought it was Vanilla Sky. And she's seen both those movies.
Oh, really?
But I was really talking about Tom Cruise because there's the new Mummy coming out. He's in it.
Yeah, and you know who's not in it? Brendan Fraser. You know who else isn't in it? The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock's
He's not.
in
He's
it.
not as a Scorpion King. But did you miss what I just did there? That's the Brendan
snapped
Fraser
at me.
when he's at like the Academy Awards or Emmys or something, some kind of award show, and he's like sitting at a table behind it, and he's kind of like doing almost the Jesus pointer and thumbs up.
Yeah,
thing, where he's
the
just
friend Jesus, whatever they called it on. What was that?
like, Dogma.
That's it.
That's
Dogma.
it.
Yep.
That's a good movie. It's been a long time.
It has
Since
been a
I've seen that
long
one.
time.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon,
Yep. Kevin Smith, Jane Silent Bob were in that for a moment. Chris
all
Rock.
Rats guys.
Chris Rock.
Is he
was
in
it? Yep. Yeah. So, Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we had been talking about something else that you're about to return
No,
to.
but April the Giraffe's baby is taller than Tom Cruise, which is just sort of. I mean, do you think Tom Cruise? Like, I saw that on an article.
Yeah.
It was like the headline of an article. Do you think Tom Cruise is like, God,
Son of a gun, not again.
every baby giraffe is just compared to the height of Tom Cruise? Like that's is it taller than Tom Cruise? Like that's, what's the height,
is it bigger
Doc?
than a bread box? Is it taller than Ted Cruz?
Ted Cruz.
I think Ted Cruz might be shorter than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Ted
you
Cruz
think
is
Ted
like
Cruz
3
is-
feet tall.
He's actually the he is the ghoul or that keeps the goats from crossing the bridge.
That's
Cruz.
That's it.
Now Googling.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty comical that they would
Ted Cruz 5'10".
5'10". So
Wow.
he's got 3 inches on good old Tommy boy.
Yeah, he is the taller Tom.
Come out of the closet, Tom. No. I don't want to.
South Park. I did watch that season.
That was a good season, man. That was a good season. We were talking about. Did we talk about Betsy DeVos on our podcast? Was
maybe.
it a practice? Might have been a
Probably
practice.
been a practice.
The White House Snapchat earlier this week. It was a picture of Betsy DeVos at like some public event or something.
Yeah.
And it said, Betsy DeVos, it was supposed to say education secretary, but guess what? They misspelled education.
Isn't that the second time they've done that, or was that the first time?
I think it was the first time.
Is that a recent thing?
Yeah.
Maybe the last week or so?
Within the past couple weeks, for sure.
They did do something else, like I think a few months ago.
They put education. And it makes sense because it's like, because the U and the I are close together, but it's funny that for Betsy DeVos, who has no experience in education at all,
Man.
they would jack up education. The one word that they needed to focus on. Education.
Education.
They could misspell her name, and it wouldn't be as big of a deal as getting education.
It would mean more to me for them to misspell her name.
Yeah, because then it's somebody else.
Yeah. It's kind of a slide on her, like, I don't know, check her name. Is the V capitalized? Is it not? How many S's on the end?
Is it pronounced Satan?
Is D apostrophe? It's like the water Voss. How do you do this?
Yeah. Who knows, man?
Speaking of news, we gotta do. Oh yeah, that's an ambulance or something going past. I live really close to a busy road. A few blocks down, there is a police station. Yeah. I think there's a hospital nearby.
One day we'll get a sound dampened room.
Yeah. One package at a time. I've got like a package over here with egg crates. That's
true.
Yeah. But rapid news, because we are nearing our hour mark.
Man, I've got so much to talk about still. Is it me first?
Heads or tails?
Right on the side. Only on the side.
Nope, heads. I saw that mice, when given, older mice, when given blood, younger blood, and something from the umbilical cord, either one of the two.
Stem cells?
Yeah, something like that. It makes their memories better. And they did a study where they gave, the newer blood to the older ones and none to the older. And the ones that were given the newer blood performed better, and their hippocampuses were larger.
You mispronounced hippopotamus. I don't know why they got hippopotamus and mice and lab mice in the same study.
They're pets, it's like the mice in the thorn and the lion. It's
they
like
help
that.
Each other out.
Yeah. And they go through the clock, and there's the mouse, the thorn and the lion, and the white witch.
Yeah. And the clock struck 1, and then the mice ran down.
Hickory dickory dock.
Yeah.
And no, I was going to take it. Although I was going to incorporate Huckleberry Finn somewhere in there.
Oh, wow. That would have been a stretch.
That would have been quite the stretch. But yeah, mice performing better with young blood.
Huh. That's very awesome.
I think so. I'm looking forward to getting my young blood.
Yeah, man.
You're younger than me. I'm going to take your blood.
You don't want my blood, man. It's filled with trans fat. I've just
it's basically ketchup and honey mustard from.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. Ranch.
What's your preference of French fry dip?
I like a mix of ranch and ketchup.
Oh,
have you ever had? Yeah, have you ever had it? It's really good, actually.
No, it's not.
Try it, man.
No, never again.
All right,
I don't trust you.
I like ranch. That's what I meant to say the first
There
time.
you go.
That's what I meant. That's what it said, actually.
Now go clean your room.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
An Ohio Radio Shack seemingly gone rogue is attacking customers on Facebook.
What? Like it was a local.
Yeah. So I'll
Radio
give you.
Shack?
I'll give
it's probably because it was closed.
It's a Facebook page for a local Radio Shack. Now, this has not been officially confirmed by Radio Shack or endorsed.
Well, are they around anymore? Like, didn't Sprint buy them
out? No, they're around, and we actually talked about them on the first or the second podcast where we were talking about I had to go in and buy something. And there's a bunch of other weird shit.
Yes, soccer balls.
And it was in a Sprint. It was a combo Sprint store. Yeah, they shared space. But a little backstory for those of you who don't know: Radio Shack has declared bankruptcy a couple times in the past couple years. They're in pretty dire straits as far as businesses go.
Yeah, it's not a very appropriate name these days. Radio Shack.
Yeah, I mean
Radio Shack. You should rebrand or something.
I listen to AM radio every day on the way to work, man.
Until you go 20 yards down the road.
I like picking up the Creole stations, man. No, so Radio Shack is in sort of dire straits as far as the company goes. And so they've had, over the past, let's see here, at the start of the year, they decided they were going to start closing down about 30% of their stores.
Yeah.
Which is sort of a sign of the beginning of the end.
I don't even know where one is. Well, you do. It's in Overland Park?
Lee Summit, I believe. Huh. I think it's in Lee Summit. So I had to go to that one, but and who knows, maybe that's one of the ones that is closing down.
It's gone.
But
They're attacking
this
people?
this one in Ohio was on the chopping block, and they were informed that they were going to be closing by the end of the year.
So they pulled a Bon Jovi.
Yeah, they're living on a prayer.
Yeah, that fits as well. What else?
I don't know where you were going with it.
Well, I mean, just, another Bon Jovi song that might have something to do with, it's like your last days and you kind of want to prove a point and, go down with.
Blaze of Glory?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Ooh.
Michael James listens to this podcast, and I was really concerned that he was going to disown me.
He was going to roll up here in his leather jacket.
Going to punch me in the face.
And beat you. Beat you.
Senseless. And so this Radio Shack on Facebook went rogue. This Facebook page, which, again, has not been confirmed by Radio Shack. So it might just be a fake page.
Might just be a fake page.
But to highlight a couple of these, one says, "We closed. Fuck all of you."
Wow.
It's what, yep. And it was liked 18,000 times.
Okay.
It was shared 22,000 times. And then another one said, "Always hated all you prick customers anyway." And then, other people...
All three of you.
Yeah. Other people started commenting. They comment on the page and
We better
looking
be
for
careful.
responses.
We're on Facebook, too.
We are on Facebook.
They might attack us.
They might.
Yeah.
I might go on their page, which is still active. You can still go to the page.
Really?
It's Radio Shack, Reynoldsburg, Ohio.
Reynoldsburg. R-E-Y, like the rap?
REYNOLDSBURG.
Like the good Lord intended.
Yep. So this person says, "Will you be open tomorrow?" Just asking a general question.
Yeah.
This person said, "Yes, but you should just shop on Amazon like all our other customers."
That is true. It's so convenient.
And then another person said, "Y'all ain't even got radios." They said, no shacks either. So they're just sort of like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just screw it. It's the end of it's sort of like how I imagine people at Kmart
Yeah.
to be, how we talked about, where they're just sort of, it's coming any day.
Yeah.
So just, their give a fuck is just
They don't
gone.
even replace the sign like the one we went to. The sign was all cracked and
Yeah.
surprised they even have light bulbs in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised they even
Like the
decided
paint
to change them.
was cracked and worn.
I'm surprised they even get up there and change the light bulbs. You know what I'm saying? Once
like
they burn out, I think that's how they determine when to
what I was gonna
close
say.
it.
Well, the lights are out. Well, I'm not going to pay the $2.50 for those bulbs. So
I got to pay somebody to climb up there, or should we just shut this whole thing down? We're only making $5 a day anyway, right?
That would be illegal, unless they are working for tips.
No, that's what I'm saying. The store itself is making $5. They're selling a pack of gum after somebody who's walked around the store and decided they didn't need any of the shit they had in there.
Yeah.
They just buy a pack of gum. And it's like 5 people a day do that.
Pack of
It's
gum.
It's like $5 and change they're making. Not bad. Not bad.
Overhead on those places.
Yeah. So that was my news article, man. I decided not to to jump into anything negative this episode.
Yeah.
Because it just felt
good.
it felt like we needed to keep things light.
Keep the fun
This
train a rolling.
And speaking of fun things,
Find us on Facebook. Well, it's been this is our 8th episode.
yeah,
So happy 8-week episode birthday.
yeah. And you guys might be wondering, yes, that is in public domain, so you can feel free to use that in all your stuff. So that's going to be our new music, and no, I just wanted to play that just to
That was
say I
good
played
stuff.
it. Just something else other than our voices,
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
It's the first bit of audio outside of our intro outro that we've played.
It's true,
Yeah.
and we're not going to get in trouble. It was previously owned by Warner Music, and I guess last year, this 2016, they were told in court that they couldn't have rights.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So happy birthday to everybody who's celebrating a birthday when they hear this. I hope you got all of the good things that you wanted.
Bicycle, telescope, soccer ball,
Mm-hmm.
BB gun, Red Ryder, to be specific.
Red Ryder, yes. And a kick in the shin. Hope you got a kick in the shin, too, because everybody needs a good one of those every now and then.
Speaking of a kick in the shin.
Yep.
And outro music.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to play our outro music.
All right. We can get out of here. As always, you can find us on SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/jumbledpodcast. We're on iTunes. Yep. So just search for Jumbled Podcast there. We're on Google Play Music. Thank you for subscribing. We'll save that for the last.
Oh.
If you remember that from last week,
Nope.
we say that for the last.
Nope.
You don't got
Can't
that?
say thank you?
No, we can say thank you, but we're going to remind them.
You don't want to show gratitude early on.
I mean, I'm grateful, but we save it to the end. We can be grateful at the end, too.
I was just saying thank you for subscribing. You didn't let me finish. Thank you for subscribing to other podcasts, too, and supporting them as well.
Yeah, because the
Jumbled.
podcast community does need to grow. And therefore, you do need to listen to more podcasts than just ours, but also keep coming back and listening. Mm-hmm. But let's save that for the end. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're on Google Play Music, SoundCloud, and we're also on Facebook, facebook.com/jumbledpodcast. Not jumbled. Don't go to that random lady's page. She doesn't need it. Nope. I don't need it.
She might.
She's been sending me messages saying everybody's telling her they love the podcast. She doesn't know what the hell that means. I don't know how she got my information about it either, but she did. We're on Twitter @JumbledPodcast. We're on Instagram. Search for Jumbled Podcast. Send us any emails, questions, anything to jumbledpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
And as always, rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes. Yeah. You can do that through the podcast app, too.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think that about covers it. So,
thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
For subscribing.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't say it. You wanted me to save it till the end. But
yeah, save it for the end. But anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week for another episode of Jumbled. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about Oh, Joe. Fucking up the intro, man.
Dropping stuff.
Your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach.
I'm Joe, and I'm picking up stuff.
You're the worst, man.
This is how you podcast.
Yep, it is.
Oh, when it busted open. Oh, no.
So let me paint the picture for you guys. Joe's got like this paperweight that also doubles as like a stand for papers.
Oh,
holds your paper up. He dropped it on the floor and he picked it up and then he put it over the table over his computer and all of the sugar sand inside of it just spilled out. Now he's trying to do some fine tuning or some fine cleaning on his Mac while we record.
Is this sugar?
Sugar sand. I was just saying, like really fine.
I should unmute it. So if it's sugar, can I lick it?
I don't think it's actual sugar, dude.
Oh, okay. Don't lick it?
No.
Okay.
You lick
what
it.
if it's like...
Go for it.
No.
Here, we'll do a taste test. Go.
No, man, it's going to be like borax and I'll die or something. Or something weird.
That was good, man. I think that was the best way we've ever started a podcast, dude.
I wanted to pick up after myself, and now I'm just sitting in this mess. I just feel, oh man, I want to vacuum or something.
Well, we
can't vacuum on the podcast.
No, I mean you could, and I'll try to talk over it, but I feel like that would be a bad listening experience for everybody else. Well,
I don't think I can fix that either.
If you want to just like slide it off or something with your hand, or you're just gonna deal with it.
Yeah,
it's a little tropical over there now. It feels a little.
It's like having a rock in between my foot and this shoe. I just want to get it out and get rid of it, but
it's really irking you, right?
Yeah,
man. And you got to deal with that for another hour.
Oh my gosh!
Good job, man.
Well, anyway, you're 30. I mean that with the bottom of my heart.
With the bottom of your...
just the bottom part of my heart.
Just the bottom part. I mean that with the bottom.
I mean that with the bottom of my heart. Just that little area.
The top does not mean
it's about 5% of my heart is the bottom. So,
You're 95% top.
Yeah, I'm mostly top. Yeah. Happy birthday yesterday.
Thank you.
We were discussing earlier how most of my 30-year-old life I have been in pain, and you feel no different.
No, man. I woke up on the 14th, and I did a little ninja kick thing out of the bed where I got up on my shoulders and I just kicked up in the air. You know?
Oh,
and
wow.
I landed on my feet.
You got up on your shoulders?
Yeah, I like leaned back on my shoulders and I kicked my feet up in the air, and then I did the little kick up thing, and then I landed in a pose.
Yeah.
That was the start of August 14th. Granted, it was a Monday, which is like the worst day to ever have a birthday. Like if I had to pick a day, like anything but Monday.
Yeah.
know?
2 years ago it was on Saturday.
It's true. It's true.
That's how it goes.
It's how
every day.
That's how it goes, man. So I'll just have to wait until 20.
It'd be nice if it was a holiday
for Friday,
and it just was always kind of like a Friday or something like that. Like you had that day off.
Like if it was like Thanksgiving or something, a floating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm deciding this year my birthday is going to be on the 20th. I guess you could do that. I mean, you could celebrate
whenever.
your birthday whenever, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already 31.
I always celebrate mine on a holiday.
I celebrated today for my 31st. Got it.
You're
in,
31?
Man.
You went ahead and did it? Oh, wow.
Went ahead and did it preemptively.
Wow.
So
that's weird.
Yeah.
You just took a year off your life.
I
You
did.
don't get that back. Once you celebrate, once you say, hey, it's 31, then you just lose that whole year.
It's all right. I'm
Don't celebrate again. You'll start aging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah. That's exactly how that works.
A minute ago I did a little bit of mental math, and I realized when listening back to our podcast last week how cringeworthy it is to listen to us do mental math on this podcast. It is the most cringeworthy thing I've ever...
for one...
Because we're like, we're trying to divide 75 by 3.
Were we?
And you're like...
25.
Or it's like 70... It was like 75 divided by 3, and you're like, 35. I was like, what?
It couldn't have been 75 even. I would have been able to do 75 even. That's not even, but
divided by 3.
Yeah, it's 25. It's like 75 cents.
Oh no, it was like 70.
Yeah, it had to have been like an off number.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I already feel like being placed on what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like I'm just in that moment I have to do math just right away. I just feel like
on the spot?
On the spot, there you go. And then knowing that someone's going to be listening to me doing math, it doesn't work out. That's my excuse.
All I'm saying is from now on, whenever we start doing mental math, I'm just going to go, just like make some kind of like weird noise or something.
And that's all we have.
Get the calculator. Because that was pretty cringeworthy. You're still cleaning up over there, man.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't move on until you've dealt with this.
I'm like the robot from the Jetsons.
I'm just gonna give this a few seconds, okay? And you let me know.
All right, I'm good.
You sure?
Maybe.
I want you to be comfortable, Joe, when we podcast. I don't want you to look down and just see a little grain of sand and you just get all fucking crazy.
I lost my... Oh, there it goes. Comes back. Lost my audio because I was wiping the...
Oh.
Anyhow, okay.
Don't you just love our janky setup, our studio? Joe was messing with his wire a minute ago, and it turned off my headphones. It's like, how does that work?
Yeah, there's a lot of open wire. There's a lot of live wires that you don't want to touch. You'll get shocked. And
one day we'll be good at this. Might take.
I don't think
years.
So.
You don't think so? You think it's just this like the ever mediocre,
ever amateurs?
Yeah. So I'm 30. This past weekend we celebrated.
We went to Casey Improv and saw some comedians.
We did. We saw Tone Bell was the headliner.
Which I thought we were going to see Tone Lock, which I was pretty disappointing.
Tone Loke?
Tone Lock?
You're
You're
with it, man. Wow.
I am with it. Hey, man, I'm with it. I'm cool.
That's my Tone Loke.
Yeah. Here's mine. Juice. He was Juice in Blank Check.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember any lines, so I just said his name.
Wild thing. That's all I remember.
Funky Cole Medina? Cole Medina? Cole Medina?
Funky Cole Medina?
Cole Medina?
Cole?
Medina?
Cole. Magina. So it's like a dude named Cole Magina. And the song's
What's
about
that song
him.
he does?
He's so
Isn't
funky.
that one of his songs?
Funky Cold Medina, I think.
Cole Medina?
Yeah. Cold.
Cold?
Yeah.
Cold Medea? That's one of those Tyler Perry movies. Cold Medea, and all it is
Yeah.
Brr!
Oh, I'm cold.
Oh, I'm cold. And that's it. That's the movie.
And he got paid $50 million for that.
By himself.
Man.
Because he produces all those. He has
Talk
to.
about a talented dude.
Is he?
He is pretty talented.
Okay.
I mean, he's not just Medea. You know, he's like he directs and produces and all.
That's right. I didn't know that
too. But
and you always know that he's done it because you don't just look at the production line. Everything that comes out is Tyler Perry's blank.
Yeah.
It's like at the beginning of every song, you know, you hear like the hip hop artist saying their name. Yeah. You always know who's singing it.
This is a Tyler Perry jam.
I know him from Star Trek.
He was in Star Trek?
Yeah,
the reboot movies?
Yeah, the newer ones.
See, you're gonna hate me. I haven't seen him.
Whoa.
I haven't seen him.
Whoa.
I'm more of a Star Wars guy anyway.
Well, these were out before Star Wars.
Don't care.
The newer Star Wars, I should say.
Yeah.
Of course. The originals precede.
I heard good things.
They are very good.
Yeah.
Chris, not Pratt, not Hardwick, not Evans, Chris Pine is the...
He is...
Kirk. Yep.
Captain Kirk. Oh, Joe, we forgot to do our read. You guys will hear it, but we forgot to do our consonants.
Oh, consonants?
Yeah, where we're trying to speak every consonant into the microphone.
Oh, we were going to do that for... You gotta have to talk soft when you do that, too.
You know what I meant to talk about, like, week 3 of the podcast, I just never brought up?
You don't have to talk quiet.
Speaking on the microphone, sort of...
What do you mean?
When we talk,
yeah,
and we're near the microphone, it sort of makes me think of Sweaty Balls.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, yeah.
It does. It sounds like...
That sounds really great.
It sounds like an NPR show. Welcome back, folks. Sit back in your recliner, light a candle, and grab a good book.
Yeah.
For the next 3 hours.
And put us on mute.
Enjoy the sounds and styles of Harry Connick Jr.
Do you think we're appealing to people who like the ASMR stuff? Do you know what the ASMR is? It's like audio sensory something or another, but it's like when people like they'll like watch a YouTube video and it's just somebody whispering. It's like, hi, you know, they're just talking in a whisper voice.
I think you've told me about this before. It just doesn't make sense to me.
They like make they cut things like just like supposed to be soothing sounds or whatever.
It's like a sensory thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really get it, but
I don't think you should start tagging us like that. That we're sensory. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay.
I
was gonna drink the drink. My Big Red. Thank you, by the way, for the Big Red. It always reminds me of Indiana.
Yeah.
Because it's like it comes out of the fountains in Indiana. If you've never been to Indiana, it's just Big Red spitting out of the fountains
everywhere
wherever you go.
Wherever you go. But I found it at Hy-Vee. Oh, glory me. You know what I have been looking for? Dog and Suds.
You can buy it online.
Yeah.
And that's the
if
only
you want
place.
to pay like $46 for a 6-pack on Amazon.
Maybe I do. I've thought
it's not that good. I mean, I like Ski and Big Red, but I wouldn't pay $46.
You watch your goddamn mouth, dude. That's the best root beer in the world.
Just next time you go to Indiana, just grab some.
They still sell it in the stores there in Indiana?
You have
to.
You
got to go to the Dog and Suds place.
No. Well, they sell in Evansville at Wesselman's. No, Dog and Suds isn't close. Well, at least the restaurant. The drive-in in Evansville is, but they have restaurants.
Oh, okay.
Like a couple.
Yeah.
In Avon, Indiana. I don't know where that's at.
It's true. They are all in like Indiana, Illinois, whatever.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to lately? drinking Big Red?
Being 30 as fuck. No, man, just you know, like
In the last few days, what have you done?
I started wearing solely sandals and socks as footwear.
Are they like the Adidas ones, where it's just, or
No,
you have
it's
like the
sandals, like leather. Yeah.
they have Velcro?
So I look like I have Ninja Turtle feet.
Oh, so they're the thongs.
Yeah, or sticks in between the big toe and the rest of the toes are separated.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So that's mostly it.
Okay.
That's 30.
Wow, you just
That's 30
That's
so far.
30? Wow. I missed that memo.
No, my wife treated me nicely. Like I said, over the weekend we went out to eat first, and then we went to the comedy show.
Where'd you go to eat?
We went to Granite City. Remember?
Oh yeah, I was there too.
You were
Yeah.
there. Yeah. You were there the whole time. At least
What?
I thought you were.
That was my doppelganger that I hire.
Your pupils were a little bit dilated. I can really tell.
When I don't feel like going somewhere, I just hire my doppelganger.
Oh, what's his name?
His name's Joe.
Oh, really? So it's not. You guys are pretty much the same person.
We look similarly, and we just happen to have the same name.
Huh.
We go by the same name.
Weird.
Yeah.
Does he have like a different last name, or does it just happen to be Oxley as well? Or have you made him be
No,
Oxley?
he's like, he's like Cher, Bono, like just one.
Oh, he's just Joe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he's just one name.
Well, you know what? He's passable.
He goes
so
to places
you
with
trained him. You trained him
For me.
right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you ever need him to step in, see, that's a good call. Like something you don't want to do.
Mhm.
You know, I don't really want to go there tonight. I'll send my doppelganger.
Like go to the comedy club for your birthday or podcast or
This
hang
whole
out
time,
with you.
this whole time, it's just been your doppelganger
Yeah.
sitting across from me.
Yeah.
couldn't tell.
Joe Oxley is very dry. He wouldn't be good for this, but Joe, spot on.
You know, maybe I've just known Joe my whole life. How long have you known Joe?
How long have I known him?
Yeah.
Sounds about 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, like, do you guys have the same facial hair? Or wait, Joe has a full, or Joe Oxley has a full beard.
You wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
No.
I don't think Joe Oxley has seen the light of day in about 10 years. He's cryogenically frozen somewhere.
Yes.
So
true.
Joe's just running the show now.
Yeah.
I might let your wife know, dude. This has all been a ruse.
A ruse. ROOSE.
Bruce. So we went out to eat. We went to the comedy show, and then came back here, and
That was fun.
it was a good night.
I have not. I said that night that I hadn't been to a comedy show,
Mm-hmm.
but I have. But not one. I've been to one where it's like the guys get like 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, like a
It's like a
open
complete
mic.
lineup. Yeah, open mic. There you go. And at the KC Improv, there were 4.
Well,
there
there
was
was the host.
The MC,
Yeah, the MC.
then the main guy, and then 2 other guys.
Yeah, there was the host, and then the opener was a local comedian,
Yeah.
Kansas City guy. I can't remember what his name was, but then there was
Rafi.
His name was Rafi.
Mhm.
You just make that up?
No.
All right. I feel like you made it up. I can't get past that. I can't move past this moment.
Yeah.
You definitely made up Rafi though, right?
No. The next guy was Donnie. The next guy was Mikey. And the 4th guy was... What's the other Ninja Turtle that I can cut short? Donatello, Michelangelo,
It
Raphael,
is
and Skipper.
Da Vinci. Well, no, he was that was
Aristotle. Galileo.
it was Pollock.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
Yes.
is
the 4th?
Leonardo, dude.
Leo.
I said Da Vinci.
Oh. Da Vinci. That's right. Leonardo da Vinci.
You're the worst. Ninja Turtles is by far one of my favorite
Yeah.
things.
I had a bunch of Ninja Turtle toys when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I gave them away to one of our family members. I don't remember who it was. But I
Probably
was like,
Ben.
most likely. But I was like, man. No, I don't think it was.
I gave Ben my Pokemon cards, and then I saw I saw a video online this like 2 months ago, and it was like showing like old things that you had that are probably worth a lot of money now.
Yeah.
And it was like an original, like these Pokemon cards, like a certain Pokemon card, like an original.
You had it?
I had it.
You messed up, dude.
It's like worth $800 or something.
Oh, that is silly.
Yeah.
Call him up. Like, hey,
Ben, you still got that binder full of Pokemon cards?
Hey,
again?
if you don't play them, I've started playing again.
He probably
would love to.
He probably didn't do shit with them. Like I've always been sort of weirdly organized.
Have you?
Yeah, just about certain things,
like your coins.
Yeah, like my coins.
This guy used to have a little Rubbermaid box full of coins and kept like a chart of which coins he had and how many.
Yeah, we've talked about my state coins before on the podcast.
No, that's not just your state coins. You had like your
that's true.
pennies, and these aren't even like wheat pennies or special pennies.
I had like a graph on the bottom.
This is just a poor college kid keeping track of his 34 cents.
Yeah, because I needed it. Okay, I needed the money, dude. Okay, look, when you don't have money, you gotta tally all the money, and you pick up pennies and you put them in your pocket. All right, and then you walk around and you find more pennies. All right, people don't care about their pennies, but I do.
See a penny, pick it up all day long.
I do that to this very day. Like if I see change on the ground, I don't care if it's a penny or whatever.
Pick it up.
Put it in my pocket, dude. And then I got a big GIF. I think it's like a...
I think it's GIF.
Okay, we're getting into that.
It's GIF.
I had a legitimate argument with somebody at work. Oh, I know who it was. He listens to the podcast. He was walking by and he said something like, "Oh, have you seen that GIF online?" I was like, "GIF." He's like, "Whatever." I was like, "Oh, whatever."
No, man.
He's like, that's GIF. How you say it. No. Well, the creator of the format
calls it
GIF.
Yeah.
So I think we all need to just get by with calling it GIF.
What does it stand for?
Graphical Interchange Format, I believe.
Yeah.
But like, are you comfortable? You're sitting on your haunches right now, man.
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
You look like what was that Chris Kattan character on Saturday Night Live where he ate an apple and spat it all over the place?
Mango? No, that was when Mr. Bojangles? No, that was the name of the dog.
It was Mr. something. Mr.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about though.
Peepers. Mr.
Peepers. Yeah.
You look a lot like Mr. Peepers right now. The only thing you're missing is the apple. You're sitting up on your haunches. No, but what was I talking about?
GIF.
Yep. So the guy, he's like, he's trying to do an argument. I was like, no, well, it's GIF though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's GIF.
But it's GIF.
I understand because, being graphic.
Sure.
Because it's a hard G.
Sure.
So GIF.
I understand. But, I mean, there's not many G words where it's giant. Giraffe.
Geronimo. That's a G.
Yeah, it's a G.
Jeff.
GEOFF.
FF. We have a cousin.
Yep. Gentle.
George. I'm just names. Gentrification.
Yes. Gentrification.
Gentle. Did you say that?
I said gentle, yeah. Jennifer.
Jelly.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Gem.
Gemma.
Gem.
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 It sounds like I'm trying to say it weirdly, but I'm not.
Dude, I'm getting excited for Monday. I took the day off from work. And my dad's coming into town. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see the eclipse.
Roughly how long did you just surf the web for?
Probably about 2 hours today in prep.
You're doing 2 hours of prep to witness a full solar eclipse?
Yes. Have you ever seen a full solar eclipse?
No, I don't think
No?
No.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a partial.
It hasn't been to Missouri since the 1800s.
Talked about it last week? You forget all these things. I listen to this podcast on the reg. Okay, so I know everything we talked about.
It's been a few episodes since I've re-listened to the episode.
Yeah.
I've been so busy just like cutting grass and planting trees.
Yeah.
I haven't planted any trees. Plants. But
you pulled a shit ton of fucking peppers out of your.
I did.
The last time I came over here,
many.
Last time I came over here, it looked like like you were planning on making a shit ton of salsa or something like that.
Or I was going to the farmer's market to sell my produce.
You probably could have.
I could have made like $4. And I would have paid for the amount of water that I put down on the peppers.
I bet you could sell each pepper for
75
cents.
Maybe. Depends on
you had a lot of peppers,
market.
dude.
I did.
If you sell each one for 75 cents, you're walking with more than $4, dude. For sure.
Maybe. I had like 20, 25.
I mean, I'm not going to do the mental math, but I'm pretty sure 75 cents times 20 is more than $4. Don't do the mental math.
It's actually $15.
Yeah, because it's
$20.
3/4. Yeah. Yep.
I can do that.
Real quick.
What?
You can do that real quick.
Yes. I think you were saying like real quick. Like
real quick. Shut the fuck up.
Enough about your peppers. But yeah, I'm excited for the eclipse. I went to buy some solar filter glasses today. Mm-hmm. Found the reputable sources that NASA recommended. Mm-hmm. And I went on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I found some, the cheapest ones. They were going to be like $30 for 3, which is crazy. If I tried to buy them a year ago, they'd have been like 50 cents each. Mm-hmm. But that's the market. Anyhow, I clicked on it. They said there were 11 left. When it loaded the page, it said there were 10 left. Mm-hmm. And then I went to add it to the cart, and they were out. They were out in like the span of 5 seconds. Well, it is the, Tuesday? It is less than a week, so.
Well, and it's swiffering itself all the way across the nation. So.
You'll be able to see it. I mean, you'll be able to see a partial eclipse throughout all of the United States.
Yeah.
But we're in an area where we're going to be able to see totality.
Right.
And the closer you get to, which is about, probably about an hour north of us. Mm-hmm. Once you get close to its like center, then that's when you're going to experience it the longest. So it's going to be about 2 minutes and 40 seconds around there. It's going to be pretty sweet.
You said you went online and just bought, or you were trying to buy glasses.
I could not.
You haven't bought anything yet.
Because they're going to be, seriously, I would have had to buy $100 worth, which would have been like $25. I only have one set of eyes and not that many friends.
Well, something I did last year. I knew about this eclipse coming up for a long time. So I went to PCB for spring break, and they're just throwing the sunglasses at everybody, the Geico sunglasses or whatever. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of drunk people on the beach, so I just kept stealing them, So now I've got like 14 that I'm just going to put over my eyes.
Oh, so they're just layered.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that'll work.
I've taken all the lenses out and I've sort of super glued them together with clear stuff.
Yeah.
So
double-sided.
Yeah.
Scotch tape.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna look straight up and hope for the best. Next week this will be the podcast where I don't see you. So maybe
it's a good thing you don't need your eyes for podcasting.
Joe, maybe you can actually talk to Joe Oxley and
get him on.
Get him on the podcast next week.
Get a twofer.
Yeah. Because I won't be able to see him, so I won't know the difference. I mean, I might be able to tell the difference. Personality's dry as shit. But
you have to be. You do have to be careful about the glasses you wear, though. Like you can't just use just normal sunglasses, or even like the solar blocking ones from Walmart. Mm. You will ruin your eyes. You can't look through. You can't look through a telescope. You can't look through your phone while looking up at it. Like you can, like over your shoulder, like you were talking about, where you use the front facing, but like you'll just.
I plan on I'm bringing my tripod, and I'm just going to angle my phone up, and I'm gonna look at my phone from the side, and just like sort of eyeball it where it is.
For those of you that can't see, Zach was miming it, and he's got his
covering my eyes.
That's why his audio got a little bit louder because his his voice was being shot directly at the microphone, just like this.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've been speaking this way the whole time. What if somebody...
I wonder if I shoot it from back here, if you can hear it well. Looking on my...
Stop plugging your nose, dude. Sounds like you're...
It looks like from back here.
Is that the New York...
The audio.
Is that the New York City subway system? I would assume it sounds something like that.
Welcome to Manhattan. First stop is 54th Street. Doors are closing.
Oh, speaking of doors are closing, do you remember last year when we went to Colorado and we had to go through fucking security twice?
We did.
At the airport.
That was, well, okay, so
It was both our fault.
It was. That was in Denver. Yeah, so in Denver they have 3 terminals, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And then they have like a central location. And when you ride the train, it says everyone has to get off.
Yeah.
And we were like right by the doors, so we got off and the doors closed behind us. We turned around, there's still people on the train because it said like this is the last stop, like you have to get off, but really it just goes back through.
Right. It hits the end and it turns around and it comes back.
And so luckily we were there in good enough time.
Yeah.
But we had to go back through. I've got video of that too. You were like not happy at all. You were just...
I thought it was more comical than anything. It's like, how do 2 grown adults just not know what they're doing so bad?
And now I've been to that airport since then.
Yeah.
When I went skiing, and I remember that, and I think I stayed on with Nikki. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
I saw Big Boy from Outkast in that airport.
Big Boy from Outkast.
Yeah, Outkast, Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Say yeah.
Say yeah. Say you. Say me.
Say me.
Lionel Richie. That's the same person, right? Big Boy and Lionel Richie. They're the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I saw Big Boy, and that's stupid goddamn story.
We looked like, remember that lady we saw there? It looked like the lady from 3 Non-Blondes. Was that
4 Non-Blondes?
4 Non-Blondes? Is it 4
They
Non-Blondes?
lost one.
Yeah, unfortunately. She was at the Denver airport. They couldn't find her.
You know what? You said she
there.
looked like it. I didn't know what anybody from the 4 Non-Blondes looked like.
Because she had that. I think that's the band, but she had the big hat on and just like dreads.
Yeah. I remember who you're talking, but when you said it, I was like, I don't know, man.
I couldn't even name one of their songs, but I just know that they were 90s.
She gets real angry in the middle of that song.
Yeah, what's going on?
She's probably part of the screaming from the top of her lungs part,
Yeah.
Nobody likes screaming. Ain't nobody got time for that.
So I don't have any glasses for Monday.
Well, shit, man.
I might be able to procure some.
You did say that. If nothing else, maybe you just get like a tent job. Just take
my tent.
Tent. No,
tent?
your tent. You could take your sunglasses to like where they do like tent jobs for car windows. Just say, hey, let's throw a tent job on there, man.
I want 100%.
Presidential. I don't want people to see my eyeballs at all.
You seriously have to filter out like 99.9 repeating.
Now, I was going to ask, do you know the science behind that? Why in the hell will this burn my eyes out? I've looked at the sun before.
Not continuously. So before and after the eclipse, the sun...
I've looked at the sun for a pretty long time.
The moon is only in front of the sun, It doesn't block it out. Like I said, it blocks it out for like 2.5 minutes.
Right.
And before and after is when you need to use it. Now, you can take your glasses off, or you can take the filter off.
Uh-huh.
I think you can look at it with your bare eyes.
Uh-huh.
Not your eyes. A bear's eyes.
A bear's eyes, yeah. With your bare eyes.
Yeah. So
everybody's got a pair of bare eyes.
Yeah, you just put them up to your eyes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then afterwards. So it's not good to look at the sun. I mean, you say you have, and that's not good.
I mean, it's probably not, but I've done it.
Yeah.
I've looked at the sun before.
Yeah, and then
so,
remember...
But what is it? Because people talk about,
it burns
looking
your
at
cornea or something.
Well, yeah, but people talk about, looking at,
yeah.
it's going to be, 8 times worse than any other day. Nobody talks about... I mean, I think it's general knowledge. You shouldn't probably stare at the sun. But, I've done it before.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
People make it seem like it's worse during a full solar eclipse than it is, nobody says, hey, make sure you don't look at the sun today. Nobody talks about looking at the sun until they're
all
looking
right, kids,
up.
remember, don't look at the sun.
Like I said, man.
Clean behind your ears.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
don't look at the sun.
That's what I tell my child every day before school.
That is true. I don't think the sun is any more damaging than it normally is, but you are also looking at the sun.
Sure.
That's what the eclipse is. You're looking at the sun, and then not looking at part of it.
Sure.
And we're actually, I think I've said this, we're living in a time right now when we experience it. Eventually, we won't be able to see the eclipse at all. We won't be able to see the sun outside of the edges of the moon, because eventually the moon comes closer to us.
Yeah,
I believe, and it will completely block out the sun. But
so this one's still going to have a ring around it.
Yes.
You sound like was that character from Saturday Night Live? He's the Weekend Update guy, where he's like, "Oh yes." He's like, "I've got the perfect club for you."
Oh, Stefan.
Yeah.
Yes. If you're looking for family fun, look no further than what? It's stuff like that. Yeah. At what? They've got everything.
This place has everything.
Yeah. That was probably one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that actor, why can't I think of his name? He was just on. He was just on SNL. He was on because they're doing some summer Thursday updates.
Yeah, there was Will Forte.
Oh man, why can't I think of his name? Who's
the other guy? God, it's the worst.
I'll think of it.
Yeah,
eventually.
We're the worst. I'm looking to see if we have any more ratings.
Ratings or reviews?
Reviews since last week. Probably not.
This is going to be anticlimactic. Let's look at our reviews, and we don't. And we actually lost them all.
Everybody jumped off. This episode no longer brought to you by Audible. They don't want us anymore. They told us to kick rocks.
Hey, I took your recommendation, and I've been watching Ozark.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think? Good
show. I like it a lot. Jason Bateman, he's always been one of my favorite, actors.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a little touch there. I had to pause. He's been one of my favorite actors.
It's okay, man.
He
helped you through a hard time.
Yeah, he really did. And there, I don't know the actress's name, but the girl that plays the Langmore, she's the blonde girl that starts working for him.
Oh, yeah.
She's in The Americans. I've seen her in that, but I haven't seen her in anything else. She's the young girl that, Lucy?
I don't know.
No. Anyhow, she's really good too.
Yeah, she is really good.
It's a great show.
His wife in the show.
Bill, is that his name from SNL?
Bill Hader.
Bill Hader, yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Back to Ozark. Just a quick intermission. Well, that was actually, I'm pretty proud of us because for Jumbled, I brought that back really quick. I reeled it back in.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen very often. Oh, don't click that. I almost gave ourselves a 1-star review. Don't do that. No, but his wife in the show is, she was in the Truman Show.
Yes.
She was Truman's.
She was Mrs. Truman.
Wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was always given the silly ass advertisements in his everyday life. Can you imagine just somebody walking up, you should get blah, 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 blah.
It's all right.
Why are you...
They're only $3.99.
Vanna White all of a sudden.
And his best friend in that, in the Truman Show, Jim Carrey's best friend.
I don't recall the
You don't recall
name.
him?
I recall the
actor. I don't
actor.
recall his name either. He's in The Americans as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a good show. You should check it out.
What's that show about?
Kerry Russell. It's about these Russian spies that are
perfect.
planted.
Yeah, the Americans. Yeah.
Yeah, and they are, quotes around it, the Americans.
Gotcha.
They are planted in the U.S. as when they were younger. I think after college, probably in their late 20s or something like that. And establish identities there and run all these operations.
People need to stop making TV shows about this shit.
About real stuff?
Because it's probably happening.
It's probably, it probably has. Speaking of real stuff, man.
I'm really trying to tap dance around it, but you almost can't.
You can't.
And I know I try to keep it lighthearted on this podcast, but I don't think there's any way around it this week. Like,
you talking about the
North
Korea stuff or just like Charlottesville?
Charlottesville.
Yeah. And what's strange, I was watching Bill Maher today.
Yeah.
I think it's tonight, but I was watching it today. And the episode was from the 11th. And it was talking about the upcoming, gathering in Charlottesville and how he was just, kind of poking fun at all these neo-Nazis, white supremacists, KKK, coming together.
Yeah.
And how he was calling it the, not Coachella, but Crackercella or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a group of white people.
Yeah.
And he was naming all these,
which is pretty much just Coachella.
Yeah.
Just called it
and
Coachella.
he was naming all these, he was like Earth, Wind, and Fuhrer. Like he was changing all the names to be like
that's
Nazi or like supreme. And then he was like, and of course, Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Who
the Nuge.
Yeah. But it's crazy to think that. So we thought that those things, I at least thought for a large part that those things didn't exist. That KKK wasn't so big, that the white supremacists weren't so big, but this just showed that how there is a large amount of people that are still racist.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I ever thought that racism wasn't a thing.
Well, I didn't think racism was dead. Everyone is.
Sure.
But I didn't think it was like proud racism.
Sure. Sure. Thought that all sort of started dissipating back in like the 50s.
It's seriously like, I thought we were further along, our country was further along than we are. And you saw people that, were holding like KKK signs and they didn't have their hoods on.
Yeah.
Like all these people were very proud of what they were doing. Yeah. And then also the people that protested and the ones that protested against them, like there were people there prepared to fight. Like they brought riot gear, like homemade riot gear, shields and like clubs and all. It was crazy.
I think as a standard practice, like you're going to get more of a response from people if you can reasonably approach a situation.
Yeah.
I mean, all you're doing is just inciting a riot or like if you're looking for a fight, just wait till Saturday night and go to a bar and get tanked and go punch a dude or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's just so unnecessary. And it's sad. It's sad because you do. I mean, I have 2 daughters. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, luckily, like we don't like have like a TV that's constantly playing news or anything, so I can sort of shelter her from it. But like during the election cycle, even last year, there was like people talking at school about like Trump hates, people of different ethnicities. It's like, how do I, like ensure that, all I can say to my kid is like, some people are awful, but like you want to keep your kids too, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to live in this world, but it's just sad, man. Somebody had to lose their life over something, so bigoted and awful. So
I heard someone say recently this isn't verbatim, but you need to, fight the issues, not the people.
Right.
Question the issues.
Yeah.
And not the people. We're so, and I've been guilty of this too, is just you're so quick to point at somebody or to instigate something outside of the issue.
Yeah.
When you're not as well versed in it. And so you pick on the person's character instead of on the actual issue.
Sure.
Or you're just, that's just what you do instead. It doesn't even have to be well versed. Some people will they go right at who you are as a person instead of asking a question about that and really trying to understand. And it's hard though sometimes to understand someone else's point of view when you have your own and you feel like theirs is so far fetched.
Yeah.
And so it's so polarized.
Sure.
It's always a dynamic, either, white or black.
Sure. Well, people they lead different lives, so it's like the people who voted for Trump, I'm sure they had a reason for doing so, and it may have been economically or an economical decision. It could have been, something that they could potentially financially, like tax issues or whatever. They could get by better with better taxes. Or
one of the guys that was protesting for the white supremacist side or whichever in that group was saying that he was doing it because of Trump. And that's just one person, and I think his name was like Duke something, but he was like, these are the people that voted for you.
David Duke.
Yeah.
He's the main KKK guy.
Yeah, and so he was letting him know, like, remember, we're the people that elected you. White people really did, like 49% white women. I don't know the amount of men.
I just don't. It's so mind-boggling. And our resident fact checker today on Slack, we have him in Slack.
He
and he's
said,
like, "Hey,
what is going on?
Yeah, what the fuck is happening in your country right now?" And really, all you can say is just craziness.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is perpetuated by, well, obviously by Trump. It took him 48 hours to say that he didn't, what's the word I'm looking for?
To distance himself, or, to, I know what you mean, but just to declare that those people were in the wrong rather than saying both sides are wrong. Yeah. Obviously there is some wrong there on both sides. When there's violence, there's, someone reacted to the violence, but you need to say, like, no, that's not, we can't stand for that. That's not what America is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And it's crazy because it seems like the America that we did know is so it's like a scattered puzzle. Yeah. And it seems like we're not cohesive. We're not the melting pot that we used to be. It's like vinegar and oil or in water. It all just kind of separates. It's all there together, but it's not mixed.
Yeah. It's pretty, like, we're getting into, and it's been like this for a while. And to say that like there haven't been race issues in America, up until today is 100% wrong. But our motto of the U.S. is E pluribus unum, out of many one. Mm-hmm. How is that in any way, shape, or form true today? How could anybody sit back and say, "Oh yeah, no, that's that still stands true in the U.S." Yeah, because it doesn't.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And a lot of people on, well, it might not even been on the right, could have been on the left too, but a lot of people made a big deal about Colin Kaepernick last year, taking a knee.
I don't know why the Chiefs didn't pick him up, by the way.
Should have. He'd be a good.
They said they would. Yeah. But anyhow,
he deserves a shot, subject. But a lot of people made a big stink about Colin Kaepernick just silently, peacefully protesting something that he didn't believe in anymore. Completely within his rights to do so, but you have a lot of people, including Donald Trump now, who sort of letting this sort of slip by, without saying much of anything at all.
And another thing that he did this last week was Putin kicked out all these U.S. diplomats and workers at the embassy in Russia.
Yeah,
and Trump thanked him for doing that because he said it saved us some money. Got them off the federal payroll. Well, Putin didn't fire those people. Those people are still going to work for us. Like Putin doesn't have any kind of, that we know of, doesn't have any kind of say in who does and who doesn't work for the federal government. Those people are back in the, I don't know if they're all back already, but
right.
Like they still have to work for the, anyhow.
It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Tell you what, let's take a break from the politics. Got really cloudy down here.
Dude, I don't even want to do it.
I'm gonna shake.
Do anything anymore, man.
Punch
me in the face, dude. No. One last thing on that. I thought it was sort of funny. Somebody, I don't think it was BuzzFeed. It was like a Twitter feed. Somebody was like taking screenshots of the protesters' faces, like the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists, and then going online and finding out who the people were. And then posting it, and then it was getting virally retweeted.
I'm sure
and there have been like people who've been disavowed by their family, and they've and they've been fired.
I love you, but if I saw
jobs.
your face there, I know that would never happen. But if I saw someone, I'd be like,
"We're fucking done, dude."
Yeah, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah,
that's like, oh man, yeah. Well,
so
with how much footage there is there, I have no doubt that everyone is going to be recognized.
Sure.
A lot of people some people had masks on.
Sure.
Cover their faces, but
I think, and there are crazies on both sides of the fence. Not with this particular situation. Obviously, we all know who's in the wrong in this particular situation. But there are extremists on both sides.
For sure.
People who believe in their side of the story so much that they're
sides, because it's not just one or the other. It's not
all
both
sides.
All sides.
Yep. Anyway, let's move on, man.
Oh, you know what we should get into? Fact checking with Johnny.
This is Fact Checking with Johnny.
Alright guys, so I came out last week's episode swinging hard, and this week I'll go a little softer because I feel like I maybe hurt Joe's feelings. So I apologize for getting Savage Garden and Soundgarden confused. Not even confused, just a slip of the tongue, really. Listening to the episode again, I don't know why I said Soundgarden. I don't even like Soundgarden, and I owned that Savage Garden CD, and that's kind of embarrassing to admit. So anyways, I apologize for that mix-up. Thank you guys for checking me. I accept whatever punishment you guys provide. So the facts and stats from this past episode. So the guys debated the oldest person ever, and I will say that you guys guessed right. You just didn't let it count by your own rules. So Joe guessed 123, Zach guessed 126, and we're going by price of right rules, meaning if you're over, it doesn't count. So the oldest person ever recorded in history was 122 years old and 122 days, sorry. Her name was Jeanne Calment. She was French. So the guys did say, I think Joe said that Zach should have bid 122, which would have been pretty much bang on. But both of them, by their own rules, does not count. Zach, you were correct, though, in saying that the most centurions are in Asia, and that I saw a lot of stats predicting for like 2050. I don't know why that's a common year to come up, but that will remain dominant well into 2050. Zach talked about the Wilhelm scream. And I think he provided about 50% correct information. But I'll just do some clarifying here. The actor who did this Scream, his name was Sheb Woolley, and he was playing the role of Private Wilhelm in the 1953 Western, which Zach was right, called Charge at Feather River. And Private Wilhelm was shot with an arrow. That scream has been used in more than 360 movies and television shows, and it gained most of its popularity in Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and several Disney flicks. Joe, the actor you were trying to name from Batman and whatnot, his name was Heath Ledger, and he was the best Joker, and I really liked Knight's Tale too. That was a good movie for him. Finally, Spider-Man 3 debate. So some couple interesting stats here. Spider-Man 3, I would agree, was probably the worst of all of the Spider-Mans, and I am, like most of you, equally as annoyed with the constant remakes. But hey, if it's making money, they're going to keep doing it, and that's kind of what we have to accept, especially in the realm of movies, and definitely within superhero movies. If it's a business, and people love Spider-Man, and they'll keep going and going and going, and we'll get to see 3, 4, 30 recreations of the initial story. That's fantastic. Not really, it's not fantastic. So I haven't seen the newest one, but I've heard good things about it, and I think I'd agree with the guys' perspective on Spider-Man Peter Parker being played by a younger person. So I am going to watch it, but I am also slightly annoyed by the remakes. So Spider-Man 3 was actually released May 4th, 2007. So Joe, you were bang on within the decade. Sorry, Zach. But Joe, I'm going to give you a point for that. And then just to clarify, based on box office, Spider-Man 3 made $890 million in the box office. And that was the top Spider-Man for the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man series. So though I would agree and say that it was probably the worst, it did the best at the box office, and that's probably or typically the most reliable way to judge a movie, at least initially. So there we have it. So 1 point given out this week, plus or minus whatever has been erased from me. So that's going to keep Zach at a healthy 9 points, and Joe, you're bumping up to 12. Congratulations. Now, for the most important part of fact-checking with Johnny, Joe made a slight comment that some of you may or may not have caught at the around the 14-minute mark, talking about how he doesn't lose any game, either at bowling or ping pong. And I would like to take this moment to officially announce a formal challenge: John Schrail versus Joe Oxley, Homecoming 2017. First to 10 games ping pong. And you know what? I'm going to take it a next step further and say I'm willing to put $10 per game on the line, all proceeds going to a charity of the winner's choice. My choice, because I will be the winner. So, Joe, you're going to be giving your money back to our house, Orion at Graceland. I think we can get some fun things happening there as well. Maybe make a spectacle of it, though I don't know if you want to be publicly shamed for losing horribly. I'm going to go officially into training. I'm going to get my diet on point. I'm going to get my shoulder warmed up. Some of you may know that I had shoulder surgery a little while ago and still doing some recovery on that. But you know what? I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm going to come out and I'm going to crush Joe, and we're going to give money to a good cause. So, Joe, let me know if you're willing to accept this challenge. Zach, I think you got to put some stuff out on social media. See if we can get the rest of Orion on board. Seeing as how we're both 3 past House presidents, I think it's going to a good cause, and we can finally lay this great debate between Joe and I to rest. One match, first to 10, forever known as the ping pong champion. Anyways, this is Fact Checking with Johnny. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Johnny, thank you. Joe is Joe's a little bit more chill this week.
Yeah,
he's happier with the.
I'm not as worked up after hearing that.
Oh man, hey Joe, I have this bushel of Osage oranges. How does this make you feel?
You mean Osage?
Oh,
like
Osage.
Osage.
Well, first of all, before we jump into the facts, Does Johnny get any points this week from any silly words?
Yeah, from any
Canadianisms?
He said, there's bowling.
Bowling, yeah.
But Johnny called it bowling. Bowling, which I would think is when you go to like country bars and you hop up on that bull and you go back and forth. Bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling.
Yeah, the mechanical bull.
But I guess that's when you toss a, 12
What'd you do this past week?
I went bowling.
I went bowling.
Oh,
yeah, over at Smoky Joe's.
Country bar name Cowboy.
Clifford.
Cowboy Place.
Spur, the rusty spur.
I was trying to think of those things that jingle on your boot.
Spur.
Yep.
Stirrups. Anyway.
Jingling Boots. That would be the name of my country bar.
Jingling Boots? I'm definitely going with like the rusty spur or something like that.
That's for old timers.
But then I have salad fingers. Have you ever seen salad fingers? I like to touch the rusty spur. But I would, yeah. So he'd be dressed in cowboy garb with the rusty spurs. By the way, horrible. Not going about talking about salad fingers, but if you're a horse,
yeah,
you want to get jabbed with some spurs, some sharp things.
Yeah, that's weird,
dude. It's like bullfighting. It's sort of weird.
It is.
Anyway,
it's like
salad fingers.
I hate it. Yeah, if going back a decade,
dude, that's
or
like
more.
That's like the OG internet video, dude. It's like if somebody were to ask me, like, "Hey, what's a video from a long time ago that you remember?" It's
Me
either
at the zoo.
No, I don't remember that. I mean, I know which one that is. It's the first YouTube video, but it's either salad fingers or it's that one about about the nuclear holocaust on the earth, and then
Oh, the early days. So Johnny, you get one for your pronunciation of bowling as bowling.
Bowling, yeah.
Yeah, or that could also be someone who's really good at darts. Man, he is bowling.
He's bowling today,
He just keeps getting the bullseyes.
Woo!
He's bowling.
You see Rick over there bowling all night, dude?
He is bowling.
He is bowling out of his mind.
He's a bowler. I always knew it. He's a bowler. Deep down. So Johnny, that brings your total to 3.
3. You know what, Johnny? You keep it up, man. You're going to catch up to me in no time. By the way, I'm not conceding, but I think we all know who's probably going to end up winning. In fact, whatever the thing Johnny's putting together. It just seems like you keep getting points every week. And
maybe you should practice more.
Am I just talking bullshit all like...
I didn't want to say it,
okay.
But yeah.
Here, all of our listeners are like, when is this guy going to be fucking done talking? He doesn't know shit about what he's saying. And then you're over here like, it's pretty much like you cracked open a Harvard law book. Like,
I wish.
You like just know everything.
Everything about everything and anything.
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't know math, obviously.
Oh, God.
That's it.
Oh, we already talked about that this episode.
Yes.
No more mental math.
Nope, no more. So Johnny, you have 3. You're just a couple sorries away from 5. I'm sorry.
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 Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
He's not that Canadian.
No. I mean
he
doesn't say sorry. He says sorry.
He says sorry, but it's not like I'm sorry.
That was almost
sorry.
Irish.
Yeah,
close.
It's really, you gotta rein it back. I think that's how you do a Canadian accent. Yeah. You mix American English with Irish, and then you draw it back a little bit.
It's very close to Minnesota.
It is.
Minnesota.
What
you doing over there, Marge?
Nothing.
Just think I'm gonna barf. That is Fargo. If anyone wanted to know. Fargo. I haven't seen that new show. Oh yeah. Any other fact checking?
Well, I think we need to address the fact that Johnny called you out.
Oh yeah.
I think that needs to be addressed on the podcast.
I accept. I'm gonna show up with all my medals around my my neck.
Shit! It's on, dude. Best of 10 or first to 10?
Here's the thing.
Did he say first to 10? Or best of 10.
I think he said best of 10, but I'll play first to 10 for sure.
I think he said first to 10. So that could end up being like 19 matches or 19 games.
I predict 10. And I'm going to have a latte in one hand and my paddle in the other.
All I'm saying, it's if you guys aren't like panting and sweating blood by the end of the match, I'm going to be disappointed.
Here's the thing. Have you ever seen not Saving Private Ryan, the other Tom Hanks movie where he is in the war, and that is Forrest Gump. Have you seen when he's playing ping pong?
Yeah, with the table folded up?
Yeah. Well, they actually CGI'd his head on me.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was me playing.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Have you ever seen those videos of like the Olympic Games where they're doing ping pong?
Yeah, they get intense.
And they're like way, way far away?
That's me and Johnny.
That's
not that
what
far.
I'm anticipating. Okay.
Have you forgotten? They were heated matches.
Most times, you guys went and I was in the middle of a Halo game or some kind of bullshit, reorganizing my iTunes library, and capitalizing words,
or putting another layer of black construction paper over your windows, so it was just.
Dude, I slept until like 2:00 on the weekends, man.
You looked like a vampire, man. You just had no sun in there.
Look, I had my reasons.
This is college days for those who don't know, but Johnny and I had very heated matches. Yeah. I mentioned it before. I split many a pair of jeans.
Yeah. Because
I would just play whenever. He would just text me or I'd text him like, hey, you want to play? We'd go in and play.
I bought a paddle, I remember.
I had one.
For while we were at Graceland, and I just recently got rid of it. Like it was sitting in storage.
I don't know where mine is. I don't know if
Looks like you need to go buy one.
Yeah.
Go to
and
Dick's.
Here's the thing.
Buy a really good one.
I don't remember the last time I played ping pong. And I'm serious.
It's like riding a bike.
I'm sure it is because I'm, pretty talented. Sure. I didn't lose much at it. But it might have been, the last time I played might have been at Graceland, strangely enough.
I'm going to be the hype man. I'm just going to be like,
oh, man.
I told you guys, I'm not picking a side.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be rooting.
You're going to respect the good point,
I'm going to be going, oh shit, on each side. I'm going to split up my oh shits.
Are you going to be taking the bets too? You going to be the bookie?
Yep.
Nice.
Shoving just money in my pockets.
Ones, quarters.
Yep, and then I'm going to use it to buy you a goddamn boom arm.
Hey, this works. This is a mic stand, even though this mic is too heavy for the mic.
I'm shrugging.
I could just drill a hole in the middle here and then fix it up.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I haven't done that with mine. Hey, keep your goddamn sand off my side, dude.
So yes, Johnny, I do accept. And he said winner's charity of choice, and he just automatically just says it's going to be Orion. I mean, it's
that's what he chose.
That's what he chose, thinking, I don't know if he was just saying that's what we're going to do, or he's already saying he's going to win, but the charity of choice is the Joe Oxley Fund.
It's just going to your pocket.
Yeah.
You're just going to, you're going to put it in your pocket, dude. You're going to walk away.
I'm a teacher. I don't make a lot of money.
So here's what the crowd looks like, okay? I just want to paint what the crowd looks like for you, okay?
Yeah.
It's going to be me, like, hesitantly, like, straddling the center line of the table.
Yeah.
You on one side, Johnny, and then everybody on Orion.
Yes.
Because everybody on Orion wants Johnny to win.
Yes.
So you're going to have, like, me, like, half the time, like...
I see what it is. It's like...
You're pocketing all the money.
It's like in Hook... At the beginning, where Rufio's like, this isn't Pan, this isn't Peter, and everyone's on his side, and there's only like the little chubby kid on Peter Panning's side.
I'm the chubby kid. I've got a month.
Yeah, it is you, Peter.
I'm just eating trans fat until then. All right, man, just shoving trans fat in my face.
Dude, just get a sundae. For breakfast every morning. Yeah. Just like the biggest one you can get from Sonic.
Yeah. I might do that. Sounds
like a great idea.
I will be rooting for both of you.
Yeah.
Sort of secretly, Don't ruin the Oxley name, I mean,
I need to get a ping pong table in practice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I would feel very confident in darts right now.
Yeah.
But you can get them for free on on Craigslist all the time.
Can you?
Yeah, you're kind of moving in your seat a little bit. You gotta
Started needing to pee a little bit, but I'll be okay.
You have got the smallest bladder. Seriously,
we've been here for an hour, and then it's been like an hour before then.
So here's the thing: when you start having to pee, when you have the feeling, is when I think you have like 16 ounces in your bladder, and you've had a 12-ounce can.
Yeah.
And anyhow,
whatever, man. So Joe formally accepts. His charity of choice is his POC.
Yeah, we'll see how I'm doing around homecoming. I don't anticipate, coming across a lot of money. I did go a step up because I've got a year of experience, but a step up is like a Gene Day. Like they gave me a coupon.
Sure. Yeah. So Joe accepts. Johnny obviously issued the challenge, so it's going down.
It's going homecoming down for real.
Graceland University. Joe Oxley versus Johnny Schrill. It's going to be the Mayweather versus McGregor.
He has record of our games. He's got to find it.
He hasn't uncovered it. I have a feeling he's probably uncovered it, so that if it ends up where he loses, in homecoming, he's going to bust out the old record, and he's going to reminisce on the old days.
We used to keep track of it, I think, on a whiteboard. And then he might have written it down. I used to keep track of like my my kill death ratio in Call of Duty on my board. I would write like 38 and 5, like 20 and 10, and
dude, for a while there we were playing Halo, and you're like, oh, I'm playing like shit, I'm done. You just you got so into it, you're like, I'm not ruining my kill death, dude.
I used to be super competitive.
Yeah.
In all sports where it wasn't fun to play. And I took video games way too seriously.
Yeah.
I can wholeheartedly admit that.
Yeah.
Not half-heartedly, not from the bottom of
wholeheartedly.
Not with the bottom of my heart. Wholeheartedly.
With the top of your heart.
With the top of my heart, yeah. Yeah. With the whole top part.
Another thing before we move on from fact checking with Johnny, because I think I agree with all of the points. Oh, by the way, I meant to say centenarians instead of centurions.
Yeah,
because centurions are like Roman officers.
I thought I didn't want to correct
army or whatever.
Yeah.
I found that out afterwards. So actually, you know what? I don't have many points.
Octogenarians, and I was like,
right.
But you said centurions, but I was like,
yeah. I don't have many points, but I'm gonna take a point off.
You take a point?
Yeah, for saying that.
You know what? I think Johnny would agree that in your humbleness, you can have that point back.
Oh man,
we'll see what he thinks.
Thank you, guys.
Just overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed right now. So nice. Yeah, so it's centenarians.
Yeah.
And another thing I didn't like that Johnny said, what do you mean you don't like Soundgarden?
Yeah, Chris Cornell.
What do you mean you don't like Soundgarden? Who are you?
Seriously, who is the guy that I knew?
Grunge, dude. Like that's
when Johnny came to Graceland. The first time I saw this 6'3" large Canadian man.
Yeah,
he had. I think his hair was dyed black.
Yeah,
it was kind of like it was near a bowl cut, but he had a little bit longer in the back. He had his ears gauged out to like the size of quarters.
Yeah,
he looked like someone that really enjoyed Soundgarden and Green Day.
Yeah,
and he looked like he really enjoyed Nirvana.
Like Fall Out Boy. Or
Oh, yeah. He was, I think he had front row tickets to Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
Like their entire tour.
He's following them around.
That's the kind of person I thought
he was. Throwing his underwear up on the...
Yeah.
Throwing his underwear up on the stage. He's like, oh, God. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So that's the only grievance I had, Johnny.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could dislike Soundgarden, but...
Yeah, and seriously, have a little tact. He just passed.
He did.
You can say it next year, okay?
Yeah.
It's been only a few months.
Too soon, man.
How long has it been? Has it been longer than a few months?
Well, let's see here.
God, time just flies.
Chester Bennington went last month. Was it July that he went in, or was it early August? Anyway, but it was like 2 months after. It was like May.
Really?
That Chris Cornell went.
Dude, we were just talking about summer vacation. Time flies.
I know, man.
Time flies.
Have you, speaking of summer vacation, did you release your last episode of the Summer Vacation podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, check those out. You can
get
go
teary-eyed?
to. I did get teary-eyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. NPR actually hosts it. You have to go to the NPR One app. They don't put it on iTunes or any other thing. Yeah, you gotta find it there.
You got to dig around a little bit.
You gotta dig deep.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time
You
on
like
there.
talk to the right person.
Yeah, which is me.
Which
Good luck.
Wait, is that Joe or is it Joe Oxley?
Yes.
Oh man, that's the right answer.
deep.
That is the right answer. Well, sir, it's dark outside. It's Tuesday night, and I got to do some editing. You know, we're over an hour.
What are you trying to say?
I'm done,
Oh,
and I got to pee. So, you make the choice,
okay. Well, tell them. You tell them.
Soldier Boy.
That's it. Have a good one.
We're on SoundCloud. Everything's on SoundCloud. All the links.
Don't say that other one.
We are on Google Play Music.
You can say that one.
We are on Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram, Twitter. We haven't done
Musical.ly?
much anything with. We're not on Musical.ly.
Oh,
I've never used Musical.ly,
I
but
haven't either.
if
We're on
you guys
Spotify?
want us to be on, we'll just be like the two old dudes on.
We're on Pandora.
We're not.
Pandora's box. Pandora's bracelet.
Pandora's Box, my favorite porn site. We're on. I don't know. That's an actual thing. And we're on iTunes. Please, if you want to be the 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th review, you got time. You know,
And
if you want to get the swag.
You'll get some jumbled swag.
Yeah, it's going to be Joe's used, tissues and
Kleenexes. Yep.
excess earwax that he's yanked out.
I use Kleenexes solely for my belly button.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's that's it. Moving on from that. I hope you guys have just a dandelion of a week.
Just the dandiest it can be.
And speaking of dandelions, summer's rolling to a close here, so not gonna have
Now's
to
a
deal
good
with those
time.
much
Now's a
longer.
good time to prevent them through the winter.
Yeah.
So get rid of them in the late summer and fall.
Mhm.
Put down that that preventative stuff, and you won't see as many this spring.
This has been the gardening podcast.
This has been the gardening podcast.
So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast about
Nothing.
not a damn thing.